trying to cut out a piece of my pie. And I asked you politely, what's it that you offer me? Yeah. I produce all my own beats and I have no intention of losing my publisher. Yeah, independent individual, boy. I've been eating off passive residuals. Yeah, let's be professional. Thanks for your time, but I had to decline out of principle. I've been scheming up a plan. Hey, I've been saving all I can. Hey, you could call me David Ramsey. The way I handle these bands. Hey, we ain't messing with the old model. New era, new kid, we full throttle. Just know that the come up is not a flaw. My amigos, they focus, know what to do. After I get it, I reinvest. After I get it, I reinvest. After I get it, I reinvest. Stack it, stack it, stack it.
Mr. Young and FRGN.
Kick to the gut!
Kick to the gut.
Kick to the gut. Kick to the gut. Kick to the gut.
Kick to the gut.
Kick to the gut.
Kick to the gut.
Kick to the gut.
Kick to the gut. Kick to the gut.
Hey, Kick to the Gut.
Kick to the gut.
Kick to the Gut podcast.
Kick to the gut podcast.
Kick to the gut.
Your podcast sucks!
Yo, what is going on? Hey, we are on at a different time. Of course, if you're listening to the podcast, then you're like, huh? But it's same, it doesn't matter. I listen on my own leisure. I'm talking about the live stream lah.
Of course. Wait. First and foremost, bro.
Yes.
It's a Thursday. It's not a Friday. You know what that means?
What does that mean?
We just watched NXT and AEW lah. Fresh off.
That's right.
The Wednesday night wars, aka Thursday morning in
For
Singapore.
us. That's right. It's Mr. Young, by the way.
And it's foreign in the building. Okay, first and foremost, we need to explain why we're doing it at this timing and on this day, okay? First of all, we put out a poll on Instagram asking everyone, okay, do you guys prefer the timing that we've been doing all this while?
Yep.
Which is on Fridays, 3 p.m., right? Well, most of them, we gave another option, which was lunchtime. So
Yes.
apparently more people prefer us to listen to us or watch us during lunchtime.
That's right. So we're trying something a little bit different today, doing it on a Thursday afternoon. Actually, we wanted to do Friday afternoon, but I had like stuff to do. So we're just going to do this right now. You guys, let us know. We love your feedback. Slide into our DMs anytime you want on all the social medias, all right? Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube and all that. And yes, talking about YouTube, we are streaming live right now. So if you are in the chat, please come and say hi in the comments. We would love to say hi to you as well.
Yeah, definitely, man. Come and join us during your makan time, you know, fresh off from NXT and AEW. We can talk wrestling. And just so happens, today is a very AEW heavy episode, Mr. Young. Are you going to enjoy this?
Yes, I am going to enjoy it because not only are we going to preview AEW Revolution, we are also going to talk about the 2020 what was it? Wrestling Observer Awards. Okay. And we mentioned an AEW centric show because, well, like you can guess, the awards, a lot of the winners are AEW, and we'll see if it makes sense or it doesn't make sense. I'm gonna say this right now, a lot of it is bullshit. All right, but we'll get there in just a bit. Oh, I'm ready to let the hounds loose, but also I will try to be fair.
Yes, we can only hope that you're objective, Mr. Young. As objective as me,
I'm always
someone who sets a great example of objectivity.
I'm always objective. What are you talking about? And you will agree with me once I bring up some points. But that's all later on. Right now, though, okay. I'll be honest. I haven't watched NXT because I was watching AEW because the pay-per-view is this weekend, right? It's next Monday for us. So I watched that first. Tomorrow, I'll probably watch NXT. So are we ready to preview then AEW Revolution?
Yeah, man. Okay, for most of us, if you are watching AEW, you're usually either subscribed to their Fight TV's app.
Yes.
Yeah, where it's apparently $4.99 a month, cheaper than the WWE Network.
But because there's only one show.
Yes, that's why. And also because usually it's to watch NXT live, you have to watch it like on like illegal streams.
Yeah.
So it's just a preference, I guess. So it's kind of almost like a force of habit. That we watch AEW, and I don't mean by doing that we prefer AEW, even though I consider myself an AEW fan. You know, there's certain things that I like about them, but I can't say for sure whether AEW did better because this week's go home show, if you consider it a go home show, I don't think it's pay-per-view quality, you know, go home show material, man, today.
But then again, it's not just today. It's been week after week, right? I mean, remember when they first launched and then there was like a lot of momentum? Now for the past 4, 5, 6 months, I would say. You'd think they would get into like a flow. I know there was the pandemic and everything, but no, each episode has been more and more chaotic and just a mess. There's just no glue that holds the show. No, like, long arcing storylines. But okay, especially this episode too, I was like, really? You wrapping up with like not the main event?
It's interesting that you brought that up because I can remember very, very clearly, like few months ago, on this podcast even, we were saying AEW was putting on the best pandemic TV show, out of everything. I don't know whether it's because they kind of got ahead of the curve and introduced fans into the show.
They cheat, bro. They cheat.
Well, I don't know. I mean, they kind of got like the wrestlers who are their, the lower card talent to be part of the show and all that.
Hey,
so there was some sort of atmosphere, I guess.
Is it you don't want to say the word jobbers?
This is how you remain objective, Mr. Young.
Oh, right, okay.
Gotcha. Use nicer words.
Okay, nicer words. Yeah. Right. I want to give a big shout out to The Shadow who's up in the chat right now. What's up, man?
What's up, Lavin? Thanks for joining us.
Lavin actually brings up a good point. Modern day fans cannot commit to long-term storylines.
And also it could be a reflection on the shows itself, man. The shows, the TV shows, the wrestling companies can't seem to commit to long-term storylines.
Well, that's not true because the WWE, I don't know. Okay, sometimes it almost feels like they accidentally fall into long-term storylines. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's the point more than they plan it out.
For AEW, it's really just it's a great promotion for, like you said, short-term sort of, I want just quick, fast action. Forget about like a proper, like long-drawn storyline, something to bubble under. And we'll get to all that, right? Because we are here to preview, should you put your money down on Revolution? Okay, here we go. Wow.
Okay, so is this episode gonna be us trying to decide whether we should fork out the $29.90 to watch Revolution, right? So it's not whether we're gonna watch Revolution
or not, right? Well, actually, no lah. To be fair, because we do what we do, we will watch Revolution. We have to, but is it going to be worth it? We shall see. Let's take a quick look at their website right now, and I want to point this out because AEW, Tony Khan, they are like a proper organization, right? They are proper like multi-million-dollar organization, and yet they can't spell casino right. Look at this shit.
Holy crap, what was it spelled as?
Casino. I don't want to be nitpicky, but don't they have a copywriter or somebody to check that shit?
Okay, wait. First of all, bro, I thought you were just going to bring out the point on how crappy their website looks. It looks like someone came out with it on Wix, bro.
You're right, huh?
This is the freaking website.
Yeah, this is their website. Like, I mean,
why so much white?
I know, right? Maybe because the window. Even Chelsea, my dog, is angry at the website because it sucks
Chelsea's
so bad.
Empty AEW, so.
Hey, Chelsea, I know. It's okay, Chelsea. We agree that the website sucks as well. So, all right. That typo aside, Casino Tag Team Battle Royale. That is one of the matches, of course. Is this for a title shot or is this just for to set up the next contenders?
Well, usually Casino Battle Royale, which apparently seems to be going to be a stipulation in AEW going forward. It's always for a opportunity at the title.
Yeah.
But which title, we're not too sure because the last time it was Brian Cage. I remember winning it. Yeah. And he challenged John Moxley. Well,
because this one is the Tag Team Royal, so I would assume there's only the tag team titles to contend for lah.
Yep, correct. So I guess that's where they're going. So okay, at least they vary it. It's a very low bar, but yeah.
I see the Dark Order in there. Actually, there are two teams from the Dark Order, so that could be interesting. I see Santana and Ortiz who are due a title shot. They are so
oh my god,
out of the inner circle, I know the shine is now on Chris Jericho and MJF. Yep. I would love for Santana and Ortiz to turn on them. Like, where's my time? Why is it not my time, Or maybe they can win this and then Jericho and MJF win the tag team titles from the Young Bucks.
Santana and Ortiz, I'm surprised because ever since MJF and Chris Jericho became a tag team and they won that, apparently they had a six-man team where a six-man triple threat tag team match between everyone in the inner circle to determine who should be their tag team going forward.
Yeah.
If I were part of Santana and Ortiz, I would have taken it as a slap to the face. Like,
exactly.
Hey, you kind of recruited us to be the tag team in the inner circle, and now you want to play this kind of punk game. I'm out, bro.
Yeah, I see. I don't understand why they haven't been building on that whole storyline. Well, then again, I'm not surprised because they can't tell stories apparently. But I am surprised because Chris Jericho is there and he should be the one like stop. Say, hey, you guys should be a bit more like annoyed, more pissed off. I mean, they have shown signs of it here and there, but this week I don't think they did.
Maybe that is the
anything.
story, man. Maybe. Well, okay. Imagine, and I know this is like a bit early. We're jumping the gun a bit, but imagine if MJF and Chris Jericho win the title against the Young Bucks, and Santana and Ortiz win the Casino Battle Royal.
Right. Oh. Okay.
Then that will lead to the next.
I will bring
feud.
up one. Yeah, this is how much of an impression they are making on me, right? One of the teams is one of the you know that team that has one guy that raps.
Yeah, the Acclaim,
right? Yeah. Did you hear his rap today?
Yeah, I did.
Yo, I feel like he tried to do that for like shock value, but to me, somebody died, so you don't try to make a joke or a shock value rap from that. You know what I mean?
Is
Like,
it the line that he attacked the -10, -1?
no, I'm talking about Lady Gaga's dog walker. Did you read about that? Lady Gaga.
I didn't get that what do you call it, that pun. So he was really attacking
He made
dog
light
walker that died.
Yeah, he made light of the fact that Lady Gaga's dog walker was shot while walking her dogs.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so I'm like, yo, that's and you could tell the crowd was like, they didn't want to go ooh because it's freaking just not cool, man.
How recent was this?
Very recent, like last week or this week, I can't remember. But yeah,
I didn't know about this news.
Yeah, no. When he said it, I was like, oh no, like I felt uncomfortable. Like I didn't feel like, you know, like when John Cena did his Doctor of Thugonomics thing, he would say stuff, but it would be like, yo, he went there, but it was never like, oh geez, that's really uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's dark. I didn't catch that because I just thought he was just making some reference to that. I was thinking you meant because the last part of the bar that he did, I think he kind of like made light of negative was like gonna beat him out or something along those lines. So, but I mean, I didn't enjoy the rap. Like it wasn't as if like it was the best rap ever.
Okay. Let me correct myself right now. Lady Gaga's dog walker is not dead. He survived.
Okay.
Thank goodness. Okay.
He did get shot.
Yeah, but he did get shot. But still, it's still I think in very poor taste. But let me correct myself because I was like, did he die? Did he get shot? No, he was shot.
Got it. Okay. Well, I mean, that's him trying to stay, I guess, on trend. Some citing current events. But again, bro, making a lot of people dying. Lucky he never do any attack on Brody Lee. I think then that one makes sense.
No. That would have been bad. But yeah, like I said, the dog walker didn't die. He's shot. But still, horrible. Yeah. And just not a very memorable rap other than that line. So shock value, there you go. I'm not really feeling much from this Casino Tag Team Royale, to be honest. Shall we move on?
Yeah, sure.
So we move on to then the big money match. Okay, so there's a proper storyline here. Matt Hardy, Hangman Page. Matt Hardy has been trying to recruit Hangman Page, sign a contract because big money Matt, for whatever reason, maybe he bunked his head too many times, has gone from broken to whatever, the real Matt Hardy to now big money Matt. And he doesn't even, like, look at this photo. He looks like Matt Hardy, like Team Extreme Matt Hardy. Like, what the hell? Shouldn't he be in a suit here?
Okay, I mean, I have nothing to comment with regards to his dressing because I haven't kept track of his which gimmick he's on right now. No. Okay, so big money Matt, I guess that's what he's doing. Yeah,
this is a big money match. He's big money Matt. At least sell the gimmick. He looks like him from Jeff and Matt days.
But you know what I find interesting about this gimmick, and okay, this is one time I'll give credit to AEW. I like the stipulation, bro. I like that they incorporate contracts, they incorporate like getting your earnings, and then like even today on AEW Dynamite they mentioned it's not just getting the pay of the wrestler, they get like their licensing and royalties from their merch. And I'm thinking like this, I don't know whether, and you please correct me if you do you remember like a time where they made use of something like this for wrestling angle?
This is a very old gimmick, like like $10,000 on the line, or your I don't know if there was exactly like your paycheck for this year sort of stipulation, but similar stipulations have occurred, like money matches. So this is nothing out of the ordinary. But you're right, I agree with you. This definitely puts a twist.
It's a French twist,
on their feud. Plus, I mean, I guess it fits with big money Matt Hardy, big money match, right?
Yeah, which is interesting. Maybe this is one of Matt Hardy's ideas where he's saying like, "Hey, let's make a match." You kind of like exploiting my gimmick in a way.
It's
So,
fine,
that
bro.
was
It's fine.
yeah.
Knowing AEW's booking, by next week he'll come back as some other Matt Hardy already, and then the whole big money thing is. That's why they didn't. You know what? Why they didn't invest in the photo shoot, because they knew by the end of this feud, which is this weekend, boom, he's gonna be like friggin' like Team Extreme Matt Hardy.
Bro, next week, new signing, Jeff Hardy.
Oh, and then the Hardy Boys are back.
Okay, but what do you think of Hangman Page seeming to be the next leader of the Dark Order?
It's funny and it's interesting because, it's a very, I don't know if the word is tragic, but unfortunate way that they've turned the Dark Order. Dark Order was a heel faction, right? And then Brody Lee passed away, and then now, they've become like a de facto face faction.
Yeah, kind of. So I guess they're trying to strap and complete this face turn by having one of the biggest faces in AEW, one of the most popular wrestlers being part of it. But is it a good fit? What do you think of that?
No. Like, Hangman Page needs to be his own man. He's a loner. It's like asking Steve Austin to lead DX. Like, what?
I guess that's the story they're trying to tell, right? Like this guy who has been betrayed by his factions and his friends and all that, and this group that is in need of leadership, and it's kind of like two opposites finding solace each other. I guess that's what they're trying to tell.
Yeah, and it's been done before. Like, Austin, when he was doing his like DTA, don't trust anybody, he's had alliances, but he's never joined a faction or a group.
Got it.
So it makes
Good Love,
yeah,
Mankind.
It makes sense. So it makes sense for him, but I don't think he should ever join the Dark Order. The Dark Order, and kudos to them. They are trying to push the other members of Dark Order now. Like, what's
Preston Vance, the shredded guy. The
shorter guy who's like super hyper.
John Silver.
John Silver. John Silver. Is it
Johnny Silver, is it?
Yeah.
John Silver, yeah.
Yeah, so they've been trying to push them a little bit more, give them more characters. This is great.
Yeah, I kind of watch BTE being the elite here and there, and they're definitely very charismatic there, which is like that. But the problem is, yes, I see your reaction, Mr. Young. The problem with them is they are assuming that people have the time to watch BTE, have the time to watch AEW Dub, have the time to watch AEW Dynamite, and then piece all the stories together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless they recap it, at least then there's some context. But
they don't.
So we are going right based on interpretation that this guy has a great personality, but it hasn't been showcased on Dynamite itself.
Well, they assume that their fan base watches everything that they do. It's their whole MO, right? This whole show caters to that sort of like really smarky fan base, and they have done so since the beginning. Like, I don't think they've grown their audience. They've just had that same audience, and it's a good chunk of the pie. So I guess why not, right?
Yeah, it's true. To be fair, I believe AEW kind of has a considerable fan base that is very loyal to them now.
Oh, very, yeah.
Yeah, so let's call it a hardcore fan base.
Yeah, well, loyal to a fault. Dave Meltzer being one of them, I guess. Let's go on to the next match. Oh, who do you think is going to win the big money match? Is this the end of the feud? Matt Hardy, Hangman Page?
Yeah, definitely Hangman Page, man. Hangman Page needs a big win.
Do you see any legs after this? Are they done? I feel like it's one and done.
Yeah, I think it's done. But I'm very curious to see like whether he does join the Dark Order. I guess if he does join the Dark Order, then there'll be new stories being told from that fresh perspective.
True. Okay, Face the Revolution ladder match. Winner gets a shot at the TNT Championship. There you go. You see the participants. You got Scorpio Sky, you got Cody, you got Lance Archer, and you got one member of the Death Triangle. What's his face?
So cute. It's not Phoenix, right?
No,
it's the Pentagon.
Pentagon. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. We know what this match is gonna be about.
Yeah.
They're gonna try to build up a new star.
Yeah.
And they're gonna use like all this like Cody and all that just to shine him up. And obviously get a chance at the TNT Championship. And we know Darby Allin is the champion right now, so there's a face right there. So it would kind of make sense that they're gonna push a heel.
Enter.
My money, and based on like what happened on AEW Dynamite today, his commentary kind of feels heelish,
A bit. You're talking about Scorpio Sky, right? Like,
yeah.
I
Scorpio
don't know
Sky.
if he was heelish or he's just not very good on the mic. Not every wrestler can be a good guest commentator, you know?
No, I think he is pushing some sort of this like I've been smiling, playing to the crowd all this while. Now I'm just gonna be a badass and turn heel. And yeah, he's just playing that heel bad guy. Bro, but before that, bro, a bit sidetrack.
Yeah.
You know, do you like catch a bit of SmackDown last week? I know it's been a while, a couple of days, but
Yeah, of course. I watched SmackDown.
I am really digging this Apollo Crews embracing his Nigerian heritage, going
Yeah.
all Wakanda.
And then all of a sudden the accent comes out and everything. You know?
Then suddenly all the comments is like, wow, finally he has character.
Yeah. What? Like face the steel or give him the steel. You know?
Embrace the steel.
You know what? Kudos. Like, obviously, we know how talented he is as a wrestler. Finally, he has some kind of storyline, something to identify him other than the guy that smiles all the time.
He just needed like some sort of great motivation to fight. And like a reason to be healed, because he's smiling. So we are so used to him being happy-go-lucky. Why is he evil?
Send him back to Raw and give him the US title and have MVP.
Be part of Hurt Business. Bro.
Yeah, dude, and then have Hurt Business have every single title. How dominant is that?
You know what's interesting about him, right?
Yeah.
And now his current feud with Big E. I'm getting a bit of Black Panther versus Killmonger vibes.
A little bit, you're right.
Just saying.
Hey, talking about Big E, by the way, have you watched his 24 special on the WWE Network?
I did.
How lovable is this fella? How lovable.
I love it, man.
Now I want him to be like in line for a title shot.
You know what's the best part of like the biggest thing that came out from that documentary?
What's that?
Which makes me really relate to him a lot. He is actually an introvert.
Yep. A lot of performers are. I mean,
yeah, I guess so. I guess for you to expend so much energy being on screen, I think you don't want to be that switch on 24/7. So I guess he really conserves it, and that is really him being himself when he it's both sides of his personality, I guess.
Yeah. You know what my favorite scene from that docu is? And the WWE posted that on their Instagram, like a short clip of him at the gym. This was in FCW days. No, was it NXT? I think it was FCW. Anyway, and John Cena was there, and they were filming stuff. And John Cena was like, "If you can break the gym record for like the lift, the press, is it a press?
It's a bench press. Yeah.
Bench press, yeah. We'll put you on the docu." And then he's there like, "Argh!" And then he makes it. And then do you see Roman Reigns' reaction? Because Roman Reigns was spotting him.
Yeah. He was like, like hyping him out like crazy, right?
He was like, wow. And then when he did it, wow, the joy and like the energy in Roman Reigns, like every gym bro, every bro needs a gym bro like Roman Reigns.
Yeah, man. It's so crazy to see that footage because I remember clearly going on 9 years ago when they were building up the Rock versus Cena documentary and they were doing all this. So I remember that particular footage being in Cena's promo and this like, who's this badass big size guy that was doing this lift. And it's crazy to think everyone there at that point in time were just FCW nobodies. They were just trainees.
Seth
developmental.
Rollins. Did you see Seth Rollins there?
Seth Rollins.
Dean Ambrose was there.
Xavier Woods was there.
Yeah.
Roman, even some people that didn't make it, Percy Watson and all that. But yeah, it's so crazy to think like, in less than a decade, all of them are now the big stars of the promotion, and Cena is like halfway retired.
Right? Okay. I know we really like took a huge detour.
Tangent,
yeah. Like it's like we just went to like the nice, beautiful mall. Now come back to the shit mall.
Okay, but like giving you a whole roundabout way back to the storyline of Scorpio Sky being a heel. I know it's like talking about Apollo Crews to Scorpio Sky is hard, but I do believe that Scorpio Sky is talented. He was definitely had the biggest ceiling as part of the SoCal Uncensored SCU.
Yeah. The entire time that he's been in AEW, he's been like push, stop, push, stop, push, stop,
agree.
push, stop. Don't you agree? Like they're like, oh, he's the breakout star. Then they've even had moments, right, when he was with Kazarian and Daniels, and they were like pushing him to be like the next guy, giving him big wins, and then after that, AEW dark. Like,
Yeah, bro.
What?
It went to a point where he was even known as like the king of AEW dub. That's the sad ass title, bro.
It is so sad, but now he's back on the like commentary and like, okay, I hope he has his heel turn and moves on. I mean, okay, if you look at the match itself, here's another fellow who's like Lance Archer comes in with all that fire, has Jake the Snake, and then all of a sudden like he's kind of turned face
Yeah, a bit.
with no rhyme or reason.
He's like a tweener almost. I
Yeah,
guess.
but not like a Austin type of like a compelling tweener. Like he's just there. Like I'm like I don't get it. And then Cody is Cody, like, and then Penta is Penta. So at least you have your heel face, very solid heel face. You got Scorpio Sky who's like, and then Lance Archer who's like,
Well, last week Lance Archer did have a main event match with Ray Phoenix, I guess, and he won. So I don't know where they're angling him to. Honestly, I don't know. It seems like it though. If you've been watching the last couple of shows, that he might be even Kenny Omega's next challenger.
Who, Lance?
Yeah, they're building him up to be the main event. So I even think that he might not win this phase of the Revolution match because I don't think he's mid-card. Like the way they're pushing is not mid-card anymore.
So yeah, maybe he moves on to face Kenny Omega. Wow, to lose to Kenny Omega lah, because you still need to build Kenny Omega. But we'll get to that in just a little while. Okay, so your pick for this one, Scorpio.
My money is on Scorpio Sky.
Okay, you know what? I can't fault that logic. I will go with that as well. Next up, Street Fight. We got Sting and the TNT champion Darby Allin versus Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. Of course, Taz will be there as well. And this is going to be a street fight, so everybody in Team Taz is going to show up.
Yeah, bro, I'm low-key looking forward to this match. Not just because of Sting. I mean, Sting getting on the ring is always like, if you're a long-time fan, no matter how old he gets, you still want to see him perform. If like you're a newer fan, you're just curious whether this guy will not die in the ring.
Yeah. This is a street fight, so obviously they're just going to have him brawl, which is good.
Smart, yeah. Protects him.
Talking about protection, and why are they letting Tully Blanchard have a match? Like on Dynamite, he was in a tag match, but still, what is he doing in a match?
Okay, the good thing is I didn't see him take any crazy ass bump that might kill him.
Yeah.
So that's good. But I have no idea what was the story that led to him going into the ring.
Well, the fact that obviously they're trying to build like a lucha. I wanted to say Lucha House Party, Luchasaurus, the Jurassic Express versus FTR, which is fine. At least build them into a program. But I don't see them in the Casino Tag Team Royale. So what are they doing? They're literally not on this pay-per-view at all. FTR and Jurassic Express are not on this pay-per-view.
Which is weird because technically those are the two most liked wrestling teams in the whole industry.
They should be number 3 and 4. If you call MJF and Chris Jericho number 2 and obviously Young Bucks number 1, the champs, right? They should be 3 and 4 and they are not in the pay-per-view.
Is it me or did the Jurassic Express change their music into like some old school retro song?
It is, and it's like no, it doesn't work. Like the old one made more sense.
Yeah, like how did that happen? Like did you just buy that license for the song for no reason?
I think it's called Jungle. It's, I guess maybe they think it's recognizable. It's retro.
Yeah, it is. I recognize the tune straight away. I'm just thinking to myself like, they bought a license to this song, but why? What is the...
Because Tony Khan got dollar bills. He's the real life $1 million man.
I don't know, man. But yeah, I guess it's so weird because if you want to say FTR wasn't well pushed in WWE, like look at AEW now.
Right? Maybe. I don't know, but maybe I'm going to play devil's advocate. Maybe it's not the booking. Maybe it's them.
Ooh.
Okay.
So now that's like a
ooh. Yeah, right. Maybe it's them. Yeah. Anyway, Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, Sting, Darby Allin. Who comes out on top? Is this over and done, or is because I mean they've feuded for like how long?
Knowing Sting, I think Sting will give the two kids a victory lah.
The two kids, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not in no way am I calling Brian Cage a kid right to his face, but come on, like Ricky Starks definitely needs a shine.
Yeah.
Brian Cage has been losing a lot, even though he's a beast. So like Darby Allin I think can take a loss because he's not losing his TNT title though.
But the problem is, okay, then he has to move on to face the winner of that Face the Revolution ladder match. So technically, he's moving on to another program right after this.
So are you saying it would make more sense for the face to kind of win and end the feud?
Yeah, and like wrap up the feud.
I think it makes sense, but personally, I would feel that Brian Cage and Ricky Starks needs it more because the Team Test has been played like punks this entire feud.
Okay lah, it's back and forth, but I know what you mean. Like they need a big push. Sting and Darby Allin don't need the win, but I feel like it's gonna be weird if they win, or rather if they don't win, and then Darby Allin just moves on.
Put it this way, they can put a situation where maybe Darby Allin gets isolated, gets beat up somewhere, and like Sting is left all alone to fend for himself, and then eventually he dies. I mean, he takes the loss.
Right. Yeah, that's probably it. Huh? But then, like, I don't know. There's just, but then again, going by their booking, which has been like all over the place.
Yep.
I actually kind of don't care. Okay, they'll probably fight again.
You know what's interesting? This match has been building for almost 3 months, bro.
Yeah, it's their longest running feuds, yeah?
Yeah, it's like, I remember Winter is Coming. That was like, what, early December?
And then every week, it's Sting, until it gets so overplayed. It's like, okay, it's Sting, I get it. Like,
it's Sting too. It's Sting,
yeah,
faster.
The first time, it was great. Second time, all right, cool, for those who missed last week. Third time, it's like, I saw this last week. Fourth time, it's like, okay, enough, I know it's Sting. And it's like,
they went for a complete month where Sting just came out and just talked, or like came out and just was there.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything. And then like maybe like 1 month later, then they had the WLN thing.
Like, I don't know, man. I'm just really not into it. So
yeah. But you know what? It's whatever like you're feeling right now, it's probably reflective of a lot of fans.
Yeah. Well, the Shadow says must milk Sting. Maybe they pay him a lot of money. You know what it is? They bought the snow blowing machine, so they're like, use every week, must justify this cost.
Yeah, good point, man, Lavin. The thing about Sting is a nostalgia act, okay? Let's be honest. But it's how you use the nostalgia act to put a shine on next generation. That's what's important.
Here's the thing, and they've just, AEW in general has done, and we've talked about this before, they've done a piss poor job with all their nostalgia acts. They overstay their welcome. Jake the Snake every week until he becomes just this like random dude in the back. Right? Sting, another example. If he just showed up once a month, or like, he used to like just show up literally in the rafters and not say anything. That was his whole thing, right?
Yep.
The crow Sting anyway. No, but he's like coming down to the ring, got the winter thing, and then he talks a bit. It's like every week. So by now I'm like, okay, this is nothing special anymore. It's like, okay, if Hulk Hogan returned every week, it wouldn't be special.
No. My issue with them, and I keep bringing that up to you last week, is that AEW's roster is getting bloated.
Yeah.
They can have a deep roster, no problem. But if they have more shows, which I think they're trying to address, I guess.
Well, they do have another show. I think Tony Schiavone and Paul White, aka Big Show, aka... did you see him on Dynamite with his new shirt? No more BS. Get it? Oh, wink, 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 wink. Bro, so clever.
Actually, I liked it, bro. I laugh, I chuckle at it, though.
Oh, you are so smart, Foreign. You are so smart. I don't know. I was like, oh, okay, I get it, but like, whatever. Trying to be smart and everything.
I mean, they gotta give a wing, right? They gotta wing to the audience and come out with it. Also, Chris Jericho's line about how I used to have was in tag teams with like some of the best in the world. Whether it's Paul White or whether it was Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
And then it's like obviously they can't say his actual wrestling names.
Yeah, The Rock or Big Show. Yeah.
Which is I found really cute. And how Young Bucks try to counter that back and say, oh, if you're not for AEW, you'll be in the performance center. And I was like, no. That is such a smarky line. So if you talk about smarks, that's the smarkiest thing I heard today, bro.
But that is their whole audience. They are catering to that audience. And we will talk about that very soon when we talk about the Wrestling Observer Awards. Anyway, let's move on then. The Women's Championship. Okay, I haven't been catching up with the whole, like, they did the US bracket, Japan bracket. At least that's interesting. That's something different.
Yep.
But
so this women's eliminator tournament where they have like on one side of the bracket is like team US, one side of the bracket is team Japan, And what I found very interesting about this match, right, was there was a lot of attention that was paid towards the Japan side.
Yeah.
Especially here in Singapore, because when I see a lot of like people from SWS, Singapore Wrestling Society, that Facebook group, Singapore Wrestling Corner, and a lot of them are very Japan centric. So they are big fans of a couple of the wrestlers who are technically indie wrestlers, but who are in the first rounds. Apparently, you heard of this girl called Maki Ito?
Yes.
Yes, Maki Ito, who's apparently very good at like trolling people on Twitter, and some wrestlers are simps for her apparently.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So she was highlighted, and apparently Riho didn't make it to the end.
No, Riho was in the US bracket because I guess she was in the US. But the finals were on Dynamite, and well, I mean, no surprise, I guess.
It was Nyla Rose, and the point I'm trying to make is like Riho, who came back after 1 year away, had this like they make a big deal out of a comeback, and then she like in the first few rounds gone already.
Bro, you talk about their booking, right? For the men, the women lucky worse, and it's back to Nyla Rose. So we got Nyla Rose versus Hikaru Shida, which is something that we've seen.
No, Nyla Rose fought in Dynamite in the finals against another Japanese wrestler called Rio something Zumi. I can't remember her full name, but the Rio girl won.
Wait, what? Are you sure?
Yes, not Nyla Rose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So and then when she won, right? And then like the commentators, it was apparently it was an upset. So the commentators said, it's an upset, blah blah blah.
So wait. Then did Nyla Rose beat her up after?
No. So Nyla Rose lost. Vicky Guerrero was at her side, so she like lost clean. And then they suddenly hinted that this Rio girl was apparently had a big rivalry with Hikaru Shida back in Japan. So I think they're gonna like highlight that history. And then they had like a face off at the end of the match where Hikaru Shida actually presented the trophy for this eliminator tournament to his Rio girl.
Right.
She accepted it, put it on the floor, and then proceeded to fucking slap the piss out of Hikaru Shida's face, which was quite funny lah. So and then they started like forearming each other Japanese style.
Right.
And then
cool.
and then both smile and laugh, and then they not laugh but they like sadistic kind of like enjoying the pain of getting beaten up, and that's it. The segment just ended.
I must have taken a toilet break. I don't know why I thought I saw Nyla Rose winning. This goes to show how much attention I pay sometimes when it comes to AEW programming. Like seriously, the match itself, did you enjoy it?
Okay, to be honest, for a women's match, it was pretty hard hitting. Yeah, because they weren't holding back. And this girl, this Rio girl, she got that short hair. She got this like very butch kind of like fierce.
Like she was doing a lot of like freaking like whoa type of wind up moves. I was like. Like turned off by it because it seemed.
It reminds me of those like Stardom kind of wrestlers where they have a bit of like cheesiness to their wrestling. I guess.
Yeah. Like I wasn't buying it. This is probably why I tuned out. Like mentally. But I think we are having a little connection issue right now. But so it'll be her versus Hikaru Shida. Do you see Shida dropping the title?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
There's literally no build on this.
This girl,
right?
Like literally, it's this weekend is the match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how are they gonna freaking build her up in a few days' time? But
maybe it's one of those cases of she's here. Let's just put on an amazing match and that's it.
Yeah, which is what there was a precedent to this. Remember, Riho when she was the champion, she fought what's that girl?
Emi Sakura.
Emi Sakura that one time. On pay-per-view, and we're just basing it on the hardcore fans knowing that they are a big deal.
Lavin says the AEW women's division is non-existent. It's as good as early Attitude Era.
Bro, at least early Attitude Era, the girls were.
Hey, what are you trying to say? No. At least AEW, now I'm going to side with AEW. At least they are trying to build their women's division. And where is Britt Baker, by the way? Where is the doctor? Why is she not anywhere here? Like literally, we talked about.
She lost. Yeah, she lost to Nyla Rose.
But why isn't she in a program with Hikaru Shida? Why aren't they building her up?
Yeah, and it's weird though because I remember she was out with an injury. Yes, she was definitely one of the best female characters in AEW, even though she had an injury. Yes, she came back. I think was it last year's Full Gear where she had that dentist match We remember with Big Swole.
Who is now like where? Where is Big Swole?
Like I get your point trying to make. Like a lot of like on the American side, there's a lot of wrestlers with potential to be like at the top of the card. You know, they have the personality. Britt Baker definitely one of the most one of the most charismatic female wrestlers. Not just in AEW. I can say I think she can hold her own in terms of charisma. Even in WWE.
Sure. No, my point is that their women's booking is almost as bad as their men's booking. It's not an existent booking. It's like, oh, this week we feel like what? Oh, can we put on a special, like, attraction match? Oh, okay, let's put it on, which is what we get at Revolution. Like, I honestly don't care about this title match at all. Like, I have nothing, like, they haven't been highlighting Hikaru Shida a lot. They haven't been highlighting a lot. Well, they might think they have been, but, like, literally, from an emotional standpoint, I don't even remember this lady's name. Her
you
challenger.
know what's the most exciting part about the women's division, and it's an indictment on the state of the affairs there. To me, the most interesting wrestler that they have is actually not even an AEW wrestler, Thunder Rosa.
Oh yeah. Right.
You know, she's from NWA, and she is great because she herself is great. Like she knows how to carry a promo. She has a cool look. Blah blah blah, and she's not even part of the main roster, you know?
Nope. Lavin says Raw. Meanwhile, Raw is just the Charlotte division. That's quite funny.
That's a good one.
Okay, let's move on then to the co-main event, I guess. We got the Young Bucks versus Chris Jericho and MJF. This is for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Okay, so they've obviously done a lot to build this up, including Papa Buck getting bloodied up and destroyed. So now you have motivation for the Young Bucks, right? They had that promo on Dynamite. They're like going on like, a very impassioned promo. Like, how dare you beat up our dad, essentially.
Yeah.
And you think that obviously the whole point is to make it personal.
Yeah. There's somebody very conspicuous by his absence, and I think might play a part in this match.
Jake Hager?
No.
Sammy Guevara?
Yes.
No, but I thought he's on the outs. Didn't they like kick him out?
Yeah, recently outed Sammy Guevara, right?
Yeah. Like,
think about this. He comes back. He caused the title match between Jericho and MJF. Then that might lead to either MJF feud with Sammy Guevara, or if you think about it, okay, this is where like my theory of what happens if Santana and Ortiz wins the Casino Battle Royal.
Yeah.
What if he is secretly kind of like the inside man, kind of trying to convince Santana and Ortiz, because from the promos, right, that kind of Santana and Ortiz is slightly siding with Sammy Guevara even.
Right.
So what if he helps whether inadvertently cause the victory to Young Bucks to let MJF and Chris Jericho win, so that Santana and Ortiz clash with both of them, or he figures into the finish somehow that it costs the Young Bucks to win.
Bro, that's all fine and dandy, but doesn't he have legitimate heat with AEW? That's why they put him off TV, and I don't think he's even gonna come back, man.
No, he got pulled from the
He was supposed
Impact.
to go Impact, yeah.
Yes, he got pulled off from the Impact storyline. But then the very next week, which was last week, he was on AEW TV as per normal.
What was he doing?
No, but he they were trying to interview him, and then like, okay, I don't want to be interviewed. That kind of shit. Like he wasn't giving a side. So like, I guess he is on the outs with regards to getting involved in all the cross promotional storylines. But I, with regards to Inner Circle and all that, continuing with that, I think that's still the case.
Yeah, just give Chris Jericho and MJF the title so they can start a proper program with Santana and Ortiz, who deserve the titles, and Young Bucks can just go and do their YouTube show.
Young Bucks can fight FTR again.
Yeah, I don't don't ruin the FTR. Like, they had their match. It wasn't that great. It was great. It wasn't that great. You know,
for the hype that they've been building up for years.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
Like, they did the whole beating up the dad thing. Do you think it's compelling?
Nah.
The funny thing is, okay, this is a very weird situation we have here, and I don't know if it's because Chris Jericho and MJF are so quote-unquote popular as heels, they've blurred the lines. Meanwhile, the Young Bucks are so over with that fan base as well, but they were heel, and then now they've crossed over the face, and like, I feel like this match suffers because you don't have a clear-cut heel or face. Like, obviously, right, Chris Jericho is supposed to be heel. They beat up his dad, but I look at the Young Bucks, I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, because right before this, they were playing the heels, to win the title.
They were kicking Marvez in the face. They were beating everybody up. And then now all of a sudden, I guess the whole like, oh, they beat up my dad. So it doesn't even matter if I'm a bad guy. You beat up my dad. You know, you should feel sympathy for me, but I don't.
Yeah, it's interesting how they seem to want to blur the line between heels and faces, but I think it's to their detriment.
Yeah, exactly, right? I feel like they think that they're above heel or face. But you know what I mean? I feel like, oh, we are too meta, we are too woke for like the old school face versus heel, which is great, right? But like, bro, it makes for not compelling stories.
I think you just hit the nail right in the head.
Yeah?
By AEW trying to be so woke, they are just a reflection of the woke wrestling fan or the woke people in this generation.
Right.
And then like it just triggers everyone else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like it's cool to like something, and I just align. I like this thing that's not the mainstream. It's cool to like something that's not the mainstream. It's always been, right? Like ECW fan base back in the day, or WCW before it went completely mainstream and stuff like that. So I feel like maybe they are playing up to that. I don't think it makes for very compelling characters.
Hey, I mean, for every opinion like us who like kind of like, you know, see the flaws in it, there's gonna be some loyalists in AEW,
bro,
who is like loving every single thing that's happening there right now.
You talking about Dave Meltzer, is it?
I'm gonna segue because it's gonna be a perfect segue.
Well, not yet, because we still have the main event. Okay. I already gave you my prediction, i.e. what I actually do want to see happen. Chris Jericho, MJF winning the titles. Do you agree?
Yeah, definitely, man. I would love that as well.
Then we go to the main event. And I guess the big selling point, the reason you would put $25 down or however much it's going to cost for the AEW World Championship, an Exploding Barb Wire Death match. Okay, the promo for this is not bad. I actually quite enjoyed it. They got like the originator of the barbed wire match.
The Japanese
dude. And they showed Japanese footage and it was very grainy. So it makes it look very underground, very like, ayo, hey, we're not supposed to see this. I like that. I like the vibe. Do you remember Moxley doing anything on the show? No.
No, he wasn't on the show, bro. He was just cutting a one what?
Promo?
It was just it's a pre-packaged promo.
Yeah.
I guess.
And even did the promo leave any lasting impression on you?
Okay, so I don't know whether maybe it's just like they're taking a different approach to a go home show where everything has been said and done. The press conference is out of the way. Now it's like fight week.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to play the packages. There's no need for me to add anything. There's nothing else to add to the bill for the promo. You know, I agree with you. I really like that they went down the route of getting the originator of the death match to explain, you know, how important it is, the history behind it. Even if you're not a smart fan or educated fan, even if you're casual, that actually might give you better context and like, oh, okay, now I see maybe what's it about.
Okay.
You know?
There was a very weird scene though in the package where you saw Kenny Omega with like the welder's mask and everything. He's like, ha ha ha, like, what? You are building the freaking thing together? Well, like, that didn't make any sense to me, especially with his current character who is so smarmy, like, you know, he's going out to play golf. I'm like, maybe he should have been there supervising the construction of this, but what the hell is he doing there constructing the thing? That made it look a bit hokey.
Well, was it the one where he was like half naked, shirtless,
yeah.
and then like pretending to be doing the welder?
Yeah, I'm
thing?
like, what the hell is that? Like
okay.
I don't know. Like, it's...
I gotta bring up a quote that Jim Cornette said, which I so fucking funny because this has been happening like the last 2 weeks. So like even the previous week they were playing the like similar package where they're building the cage. Oh, you're gonna love this quote, bro. You're gonna love it.
Okay, what did he say?
So Jim Cornette was shitting on them
for
not being able to hammer properly. You know what he was saying? What? This kids, this spoiled generation kid don't even know how to work around the house. It's so obvious by the way they hammer the thing. They never hammer a nail in his entire life. Oh my god, I was laughing because I was thinking like he made a William Regal reference after that.
Right.
You're saying they're not a real man's man.
He's a man, such a man. That was one of my favorite songs back in the day. Low-key love that He's a Man's Man song.
Yeah, it kind of like it's such a pretentious song, but it's in an amusing way.
Yeah,
you know?
it's so ridiculous. It's funny. Anyway, back to this. I mean, there's no doubt they're just going to kill each other, lah. And it's going to be a train wreck. It's going to be a beautiful symphony of chaos and destruction.
Yeah, you know what you're gonna expect coming from it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like violence.
Okay.
It's gonna be a car crash.
Okay, if we took out the Exploding Barb Wire Death match stipulation and just made this a normal wrestling match, would this headline, would this be a show seller?
Well, they did it. They gave it away on free TV already.
They did the lights out match as well.
They
Previously.
did a lights out match. They had that match where obviously the whole Don Kelly's defection was revealed.
Like I feel like this is a case of wow, that escalated quickly.
You know, if it was up to me, I would have either given Iron Man stipulation, which would have been a great showcase of John Moxley's toughness, but in a different way.
Yeah, and their actual wrestling ability, which they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it would be a great showcase of Kenny Omega, because Kenny Omega will say like, I'm so much better than you. I can last an hour with you, like an hour Iron Man match, or like a 45 minute, half an hour, whatever it is.
To be
Showcase
fair,
their wrestling ability.
I feel like they could have, with these two, dragged it out like a Austin Rock, like a Mankind Undertaker, and just gone through all the different steps. They already shot themselves in the foot with the lights out match. So and this is what AEW does, right? They keep on putting these ridiculous stipulations and they have to go up, up, up. They cannot now go down. They can't go down to a normal ladder match. They can't even have a normal match. It would just make no sense. So instead of building it up so that we could have a whole year-long promo, right?
You're right.
Have them go through one-on-one, a tag team match, freaking ladder match, freaking thumbtacks match, I don't know. Then the lights out match. Then finally you like, okay, this has gone on long enough. One will live, one will not. Exploding Barbed Wire Death match.
They have kept them away for a year, and then last year they did a Winter is Coming main event.
Yeah.
And they could have built up from there. Like, this revolution could have been maybe a cage match, like you say. I think, the prospect of a ladder match by the both of them actually is interesting to me.
Right?
I want to see what they can do, like a brawler using a ladder, and like Kenny Omega
like
using the ladder.
each could like come up with their own match. Like, oh, you beat me in your match. Now you try to beat me in my match, which like maybe John Moxley will have a barroom brawl match, for example, right? And they can just trade these victories back and forth and just create this epic rivalry. Right now, it just like, oh, okay, like this is the end. Where do you go from here? Scaffolding match next?
There is a flaw in the booking of this match, in my opinion.
Bro,
because
there are
if
flaws in every single match. What are you talking about?
That goes without saying, bro. But if you go to if you remember how they actually proposed this match, it was Kenny Omega that proposed this match to John Moxley, saying that I'm gonna end you, this is gonna be the way I'm gonna end you. But if you put it in that way, saying that if each wrestler proposed their own match, shouldn't it be John Moxley that proposed this match?
Yeah. No, 100% because he's known for the death matches, right?
Yeah, then it would have made more sense, because you would say something like, you know what, you can't even you can't even tell me upfront you're not honorable man.
Yeah.
You give me a crappy ending. As in like in the previous match, during the normal match, you can't even do a normal wrestling match. Even though I tried to play your game, because if you think about it, the straight up wrestling match was Kenny Omega's stipulation.
Yeah.
So it would have made more sense for John Moxley to say, fine, you don't want to work it in your stipulation, you do it to mine, which is the Exploding Death match.
No, it's Kenny Omega who came out with it. And he's a bit of a chicken shit heel, don't you think?
Yeah.
Right now, his current character, like he's like, yeah, I'm so high on myself, but he also like try to siam things. Why would he propose this match then? Yeah. If anything, he should be trying to dodge this match, and John Moxley is like, no, I'm going to get you. This is the match. You're going to sign. So a lot of
it seems like, right, like in the top promotions in the world right now, the so-called the best kind of like heel character, it seems to be the Roman Reigns archetype, where it's like I'm not gonna do a lot of talking. I'm gonna have like a manager talk for me, but then I'm gonna be like the stoic, very cerebral kind of heel character. And I guess this is AEW's way of trying to they might not admit that they're not copying or this is our own idea and kind of thing, but it seems like whatever Roman Reigns is doing, they're trying to do their own version of it.
Yeah, it's not working. You know what this is? This is like you have a bit of time. Like this goes back to the whole no attention span fan base that the AEW has, right? It's like, oh, let's just throw out the craziest match. It's like you have only time for half an hour to play one game. You just select the most like outrageous, ridiculous match and play that game, and that's it. Video game, like, you know. And it fits the MO of everyone running the show over there. So.
I don't know whether having 3 shows now would make the situation better or worse.
Well, who's gonna watch AEW? Was Elevation on YouTube? Who's gonna watch that?
Because the funny thing is AEW Dark actually has a sizable audience, because every time I look at their episodes, right, in a couple of days they have 500,000 views.
Wow.
So like, and it's like 2 or 3 hours, you know, like the freaking show is like a full length show. So it's like people are legit following storylines there and watching. And the thing about them, the whole layout of that program is like Superstars, or it's like Afterburn, where it's just a bunch of random matches. It's not even for a title. It's not even a storyline. Right. There's no story. It's just straight up matches.
Okay, so it's just there for them to practice lah.
I'm just curious, because does that mean like the AEW's audience, they are just fans of the wrestlers, not really the storyline? So they will watch any Ricky Starks match, they will watch any Scorpio Sky match.
They are. It is like the how do I say it? Like I said, you know, like the old school ECW fans, they are bought into the brand. Like, this is the alternative. I'm cool because I watch this and I don't watch the mains. Oh, you watch WWE. Don't be a sheep. Don't be a normie. Don't be, you know, I'm woke. I know better. I watch it. This is that. So it appeals to that mentality. That's why they are so smarky on their promos. It caters to exactly that sort of fan base. Div Royalty, how are you doing? I hope you're having a good one. I hope you've had your makan as well. Div Royalty just jumped in saying that she agrees that they've raised the stipulations of their matches to be more and more crazy, although they really are going to write out Moxley for paternity leave. He has to be written out with a bang.
Yeah, we've discussed this as well. Div Royalty, if you remember in our previous episode, we were talking about how this is the only way they can get Jon Moxley out of AEW for the time being. You know?
They explode him.
He just freaking explode into paternity leave.
Yeah, and then when he comes back, he'll have like a robot arm or some shit like that, like Jax from Mortal Kombat. Is it?
Oh my god, yeah, that would be awesome, man. That would be damn dope.
Hey, knowing their booking, they'll probably do some shit like that.
Well, in my opinion, I think Jon Moxley would relish it. Like he's probably the one going in Tony Khan's ear and saying, "Hey, Tony Khan, let me just kill myself, lah, please, a favor, you know."
Yeah, and then and then Kenny Omega will hold a mock funeral next week. Actually, that could be quite interesting. It's been done before in WWE, right?
Yeah, Undertaker and Kane. Yeah, for sure.
So, we'll have to wait and see. Like, obviously, this is the gimmick match. If you take out this gimmick match, is this a pay-per-view worth watching?
No, especially if you compare to last year's Revolution. Do you remember last year's Revolution? I would dare say, like, the bill for each storyline from last year's AEW Revolution is like hands down one of the best in that year.
Okay, let me just refresh myself. I don't remember what the card was. Oh, there was a Dustin Rhodes, Jake Hager, that one. Okay,
they had that tag team match, which was really well received. The one between Young Bucks and Omega and Page for the title.
Yes.
So that was the opening match. I remember that was like a really, really, really good match.
Chris Jericho, Jon Moxley, AEW Championship. That was the main event.
Yes. And if you remember, the build towards that match was amazing.
Yes.
Because like Jon Moxley teased that he was joining Inner Circle. He left the Inner Circle. He stole Chris Jericho's car. He kena blinded in one eye.
He was stabbed by one of Chris Jericho's spikes.
Yeah, you know, so like it was compelling. So I felt like AEW still had their shit together at that point in time. do you remember another great match? It was great not just because of the match, but the storyline built to it. This Cody and MJF was in that card.
Yes, that's right. So they just had more continuity, more proper booking.
Yeah, they had that shit together in a way, right?
Yeah,
and then I can't remember who was a TNT champion at that point in time.
TNT champion. Was there even a TNT Championship title then?
Was it? Oh, it was created afterwards, right? It was
I think
created in
so.
the middle of.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Because that happened during the pandemic. But what I mean is, I think that was the last time where AEW felt very, very fresh.
Yeah.
If you remember this, even the arena, they had the fans wearing the Korean K-pop color tags on the wrist.
The light up tags, yes.
Yeah, the light show, and like I don't know, it just felt well. Yeah, it was a fun show to watch. So I don't think, given the bill now, it can compare.
Right. One more thing to add, as we've just run down the entire card for Revolution. Paul White, no more BS. He announced that he has something to announce. He announced that he has something to announce at Revolution. And
what a super tease.
Yeah, he should be a Hall of Famer. He's a legend and he's coming, but you'll find out who he is at Revolution. Okay. Who do you think this is? Another defection. They're selling another defection at Revolution.
Let me think. I mean, okay, so if he said that he should be in the Hall of Fame, he's not yet in the Hall of Fame. So, but he's a legend.
Screw it
for him
loud.
to be out of contract.
Freaking Gangrel shows up.
That would be a letdown, bro.
You know they're like anyhow.
Bro, it has to be bigger than Paul White for Paul White to announce it.
Okay, who is bigger than Paul White that's going to show up?
I have a idea. It's like, it has to be a legend, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, he should be in a Hall of Fame.
Okay, in my mind, I thought to myself it would have been Kurt Angle.
Ooh.
Right? Because Kurt Angle would make sense because he's not doing anything now. He's out of WWE, blah, blah, blah. But then he's already a Hall of Famer. So that kind of like checks out.
Okay. Well, maybe Big Show could have been swerving us. And
To me, it has to be someone that has some sort of connection with Big Show for Big Show to be the one that introduces him, right?
No, I don't think so. I think AEW, they anyhow, is the Wild West. They will be anyhow on. There's not going to be a link. I doubt that they will go and think that far. They're like, oh, you are the new guy and you're a big name. Okay, you announce our big name at Revolution.
Bro,
That's
you know what would be fucked up?
What?
But also kind of funny. Imagine if it's Kane.
Glenn Jacobs, and he comes out as the mayor. That's his gimmick.
Oh my god,
the
yeah,
mayor.
the mayor, but then got explosion and everything.
Ta-na-na-na-na.
No, I think it's something somewhere from that generation, lah.
Honestly, I feel like it's gonna be a letdown. I feel like it's gonna be a okay. Just
Ooh.
yeah. Well, remember what I said here. It's going to be a letdown. It's not going to be like it's going to be a oh, okay.
Okay, it's not gonna be a current superstar.
No,
for sure.
No.
It might be a veteran, but not a current superstar.
If you in chat, if you want to hazard a guess, please feel free to. Who is Big Show, Paul White, going to announce as All Elite at Revolution? Who do you think?
Mark Henry.
No lah, Mark Henry is fully entrenched in the WWE right now.
No, but yeah, he's a Hall of Famer, so
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll wait and see.
Yeah, actually, right, it's supposed to be easy because he gave a very good clue where he's a veteran, but he's not Hall of Famer. So that should limit in the shortlist by a lot.
But who could it be?
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I guess we'll have to watch. Oh my god, all of a sudden it's so exciting to watch AEW Revolution. Okay. See me roll my eyes. Now, talking about, there's going to be a lot of eye rolling right now. Are you ready for the eye rolling? Please.
Yes, come on. I'm ready for it. Let's do it, bro.
Warm your eyeballs up so that once we get to the next segment, your eyeballs don't get sore from all the eye rolling.
Mr. Young's going to have a hard on soon, man, talking about this.
Hard on? No, I'm as limp as it can get right now. Talking about hashtag flaccid, yo. Talking about the 2020 Wrestling Observer Awards. Okay, the Wrestling Observer, obviously a newsletter that is created by Dave Meltzer, right? Dave Meltzer, a very veteran name in the pro wrestling industry, as far as a writer, a wrestling reporter.
He has been following the industry since the 80s and reporting on every single match and big event. So, yeah, he's definitely a long time guy.
I have to give Jim Cornette a huge shout out because he mentioned something on his podcast. I was listening to it earlier in the week, right? He was talking about how Dave Meltzer back in the day, in the 80s, like you mentioned, he was like the champion for like proper wrestling, like, because this was when the WWE, if you think about it, was all gimmick, hokey clowns and shit. So he was writing about like your flares. He was the champion of like the workers, looking at Japan and who are the top workers, right? Which is so weird. Look at him now. He's championing the clowns at AEW.
I don't know, man.
If you think about it, it's like it is now cool to like the alternative. So he's always been the alternative, right? He reports on the alternative and shits on the mainstream. So now it has completely turned the other way.
I mean, he's never been a big WWE supporter because I remember he rarely gives out his 5-star matches to WWE. Like in the entire history of WWE, he only gave 5 stars 2 matches.
Right.
If I'm not wrong. One 5-star was obviously Hell in a Cell between Shawn Michaels and Undertaker back in 1937.
Yeah.
And the next one was CM Punk, John Cena in 2011 Money in the Bank.
I can say that these awards are obviously they're voted on. It's not like a panel of experts. It's fans of the newsletter. So it's already a very narrow fan base. People who only listen and read his stuff vote on this, so you can understand why the results as they are as they are. So are you ready?
Is it just fans or are there wrestlers and promoters as well that is voting?
No, it's just the readers of the newsletter.
Okay, readers. Okay, got it.
So, like, I mean, it's quite obvious why some of these results are the way they are. So we start off with the Luthez / Ric Flair Award, Wrestler of the Year. John Moxley.
Okay, let's be objective. Let's be objective.
Okay.
Why do you think he was voted? Why do you think he made it to number 1?
Objectively, it's because only AEW fans read this shit. No, that's really why the results are the way they are. I mean, John, really, Wrestler of the Year. You compare that to Ric Flair and Luthez, John Moxley. Like,
okay,
what feuds has he been in 2020 that are so outstanding, other than the Jericho one?
In
Eddie
the whole
Kingston?
of 2020, he was the AEW World Heavyweight Champion for 10 out of those 12 months, correct?
Yeah.
So he defended all his championship ring he won until he dropped it to Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
So I would say objectively he had a great year. Okay, so I guess he was the flagship guy, number 1 guy in AEW for majority of the year.
Yeah.
My issue is not that he doesn't deserve it. My issue is I think there's other people that's more deserving. I would say Drew McIntyre had a better year.
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Like, Drew McIntyre, for me, like, his promos improve drastically. His matches, great improvement drastically. John Moxley's just been doing the same thing over and over and again, and his character is just not very compelling.
I would dare say John Moxley had a better 2019 than 2020. Even though he won the title in 2020, 2019 he had killer matches in Japan.
Yes.
You know, he went to Japan. He had a great G1 climax performance.
But,
he was he had a great match in AEW, that great debut. So he had all the hype in 2019. 2020 was a culmination, but I guess it was more of like smooth sailing all the way.
Yeah, exactly. This being said, though, like 2020, probably not the best year for pro wrestling to begin with. Everyone was trying to pivot, trying to figure out how to do things. But yeah, I agree with you that Drew McIntyre should have won this, but you're going to rarely see a WWE wrestler given their props in this voting, huh? Let's be honest.
We have to put a caveat that the fact that it's a pandemic, so we'll take that into account. Secondly, now that you brought it up, we have to take into account that they are Dave Meltzer's readers.
Yeah, they are essentially all brainwashed. Okay, brainwashed is a harsh word.
Do you think WWE fans would legit subscribe to a wrestling newsletter? They got fucking social media. They're watching everything on YouTube.
Yeah.
Whatever poll that they are voting on is the poll that WWE put on their Insta stories.
And of course, then you will have your smart saying, they are just a bunch of sheep. They they don't know what real wrestling is. So it is what it is.
You're gonna use that line? I would say then Naito would have had a better year.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Naito won the double championship last year. He held the title all the way. Okay, he dropped it for a while to Evil, but only for like 1 or 2 pay-per-view. Yeah. Then he carried all the way until this year's Wrestle Kingdom.
Bro, it's quite obvious lah. This Dave Meltzer and his fan base uncutting this Tony Khan's balls like nobody's business because they cater to them.
It's like the new shiny toy after New Japan.
Yeah, it's a mutually beneficial relationship. If you think about it, because
Interesting.
WWE is never going to give them props or give them the shine, whereas Tony Khan will. So they should support each other, right? It makes sense. All right, let's move on. Moth, alamak. I'm so upset that I can't speak.
You become Mike Tyson already, bro.
Yeah. My favorite wrestler, Cold Stone. Here we go then. Most outstanding wrestler, Kenny Omega.
Okay, so this is one of my biggest question. What is the difference between Wrestler of the Year and Most Outstanding Wrestler?
I don't know. No, okay, Ric Flair Award, maybe it's like the total package. Maybe it's in-ring plus like promo skills plus
Box
gimmick.
office draw.
John Moxley is not a fucking... Oh, that's my one F word. Not a box office draw. Okay, I'm just going to say he's not.
But I guess is that what you're trying to say by the difference between those awards? Like one is like for overall number one wrestler in wrestling, and then this outstanding wrestler is like he was the best wrestling worker. Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't know. I don't really care because it's just another way to give AEW props, to be honest. I mean, there's no doubt that Kenny Omega is an outstanding wrestler. But in 2020, was he the most outstanding wrestler? Because there was a huge before he started his title run, he was kind of like meh. He was here and you know what I mean? He was not here, not there.
When he dropped his tag team championship with Hangman Page, he had that feud with Hangman Page, and then like maybe like halfway through the year, then he started building up into this current like title collector gimmick, crazy ass OG or OP wrestler.
Very quickly, Div Royalty says WWE fans got the bump, no need newsletter. And Lavin says AEW fans go to WWE pages just to give troll comments, but it gives the WWE more interactions than the AEW. That's
You're
so
right,
true.
man. You're absolutely right. Bro, Bad Bunny, bro. Bad Bunny is the most outstanding wrestler.
Oh, no.
You know,
stop
number
it.
one, he got a box office draw.
Yeah.
He draws more than all of wrestling.
Yeah. He's like Spotify king.
Yeah. Hey, you want to give a very random statistic, bro?
Sure.
The season premiere of The Rock's Young Rock TV show drew 5 million viewers.
What?
You know what that means, right?
What?
Both in all of wrestling, all the wrestling TV shows combined, right? Still pale in comparison to the number of viewers that Young Rock had.
I mean, to be fair, everyone remembers The Rock from the Attitude Era. This was, I mean, you can't even compare The Rock, like the Attitude Era to the product now on any platform. The Attitude Era wins, right? And then, of course, The Rock is Dwayne Johnson. He's a movie star.
The point I guess I'm trying to make is The Rock is bigger than wrestling at this point.
100. He's talking about running for president of USA and everything. So, yeah. I would love for him to run, to be honest. Like, he looks like the kind of guy that puts his 100% in everything. So you know, if he became president, he would put 100% in that.
Hey, bro, like the bar is so low now, man. Like fucking Trump after Trump is like anyone who's just halfway decent and it's a good guy. I think is already a win over Trump, which is Joe Biden, lah. Basically.
Yeah, Joe Biden.
But anyway,
The Rock is not going to have time to work out though if he became president. So maybe he shouldn't, huh?
Okay, away from politics, right? What I meant is Young Rock. It's just a comedy show, half an hour TV show, has more viewers than the wrestling. And we talk about box office draw. Is there anyone in wrestling? And I know that WWE has pivoted and tried to make WWE the brand, the draw, right? But like, I don't see anyone who's like a box office draw. Like, okay, his match, no matter what match he's in, will be the one that people sign up and watch the show for.
Nope, nobody. Certainly not John Moxley. So anyway, I guess. Okay, this is gonna be a fun one. Tag Team of the Year. Bro, do you know who the Tag Team of the Year are? Oh, I think he's we got Foreign Frozen for a little bit right there. Okay.
Yeah. I kind of Sub-Zero, bro.
Sub-Zero. We were talking about the Tag Team of the Year. No surprise here. I mean, they even name a move after the Meltzer man himself. The Meltzer
Young
driver.
Bucks.
Of course, it's the Young Bucks. Are you surprised?
Okay, wait. Now here's me trying to pick logic into it. Young Bucks only won the title, I think, was it at All Out last year? Probably, yeah, I think All Out. That was what, in September?
Yep.
Before that, what were they doing?
Bro,
I would dare say FTR had a better year than Young Bucks.
Bro, it's very obvious. This is not an objective. I can objectively say this is not an objective list, okay? Like, Maybe they should just cancel this whole tag team of the year category because there were no tag teams that stood out.
There wasn't.
No, none at all.
There wasn't. I mean, Hurt Business. It's like technically it's a faction.
Yeah, it's not a tag team. Yeah,
it's not a tag team. Street Profits held the title goal a couple of times, but all not memorable. Unless you're talking about the Viking Raiders and them trading football and basketball, and maybe that's memorable. But nah,
this award is like the best of the worst. So I mean, whatever.
What was interesting was when AEW first started out and they said they were going to champion tag team wrestling.
Sure.
Okay. In 2019, the way they highlighted like the Lucha Bros, they had that crazy ass match with Young Bucks at All Out was amazing. They had the SCU was great. They were the first tag team champions. I like that choice because it's like it's clear that they're not playing favoritism. They're not going to give Young Bucks the title straight away. Yep. They built up another so-called veteran team that deserve it. Luchasaurus, what do you call it? The Jurassic Express was building up. I felt like that 2019-2020 sweet spot before the pandemic, they were in a good role. I would definitely have to admit. But in 2020 itself, even if you look at it objectively, right, Young Bucks didn't have a good year, only had a good last quarter of the year.
Yep. I mean, look, this goes back to the very first thing I said about AEW when we first started watching Dynamite in their first few episodes. They don't know how to build characters, right? They don't know how to build long-term things. They just throw everything out there, and then now they are stuck at the ceiling because they can't go higher, and you have a bunch of characters that people don't really care about. So,
are you saying that they are getting found out?
Yeah,
like,
they are.
This is the limit of their so-called show attraction?
Yeah, like they did well on the indies because you only go to an indie show once in a while. You don't go every week. You don't watch one on TV every week, right? Now that they have to put out product every single week, they're realizing, oh shit, we need to not like throw everything out there and then next week, what the hell are we going to do?
Yeah, how are you going to fill out 52 weeks of TV?
Yeah, exactly. So now they're starting to realize this. Let's move on then. Best on interviews. Okay, this one I can agree. He has, I feel, really good interview skills. It's just that, they dropped the ball out with his booking. Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one I can agree.
But Eddie Kingston, if you're talking solely about interview skills, yes, he's a great interviewer. But other than his story with John Moxley, what has he done since?
Nothing. Absolutely zilch nada.
Jack shit.
Jack shit is right. Okay, but let's look at the WWE side of things. Who there is like a compelling... actually, I already know one name in my head.
Yeah, I already have it in my head. So I think you're going to say the same thing. Ever since Roman Reigns came back.
Oh, you were going to go with Roman Reigns. Okay, I was going to go with MVP.
Oh, yeah. Okay, MVP is a great promo guy. But in terms of character, ever since Roman Reigns came back, he has been the most compelling guy on the mic.
True that. Okay, maybe best character then, because I guess this is best on interview. So I guess technically, yeah. But I mean, I won't argue this. Eddie Kingston is good on interviews, so there you go. I won't argue that.
He's good, but is he the best this year? I don't know.
Mean, he's the best for this fan base anyway.
He's the best in AEW lah.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Promotion of the year. Gee, I wonder. Okay, let's not even...
Is it New Japan?
No, fuck no. It's AEW. AEW is the new shiny toy that plays with the, fans. Best weekly TV show.
NWA Power?
Fuck off. It's AEW Dynamite. Of course. We don't need to go into that because, to be honest, AEW Dynamite, they've had good shows, but it's... I would give that to NXT, honestly. Best weekly TV show. Chat, what do you think? Tell us your best weekly TV show. Like NXT to me is the must watch. Everything else can kind of slip. Skip.
I would even make a case for SmackDown being the best TV show
after
ever since Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Post Roman Reigns, right? I think the product has been very, very focused and well stocked in every division.
Yes, true. Referee Ryan, how you doing, man? He just swung by saying, what did I miss? Bro, you miss us talking about AEW Revolution. Now we are talking about the Wrestling Observer 2020 awards, and we're sort of
we were putting out in the chat group because we were just talking about the best weekly TV show, and the Observer Awards gave it to AEW Dynamite. So do you agree, or which TV show do you think deserves that accolade even more?
Lavin says NXT for life. You know, hell yeah.
For sure.
Let's move on then to Pro Wrestling Match of the Year. Referee Ryan also says NXT for life. Okay, Pro Wrestling Match of the Year. The Young Bucks versus Adam Page and Kenny Omega, AEW Revolution 2020. It should be up there, but I don't know if it was Pro Wrestling Match of the Year.
You know what? If you talk about the best tag team match in this year, this past year, it was that match. It was even better than the Young Bucks and FTR match, for sure.
But Pro Wrestling Match of the Year?
Okay, was there a one-on-one match that was better? I would dare say that there are, from even in New Japan, even Wrestle Kingdom, there were better matches.
Like definitely NXT, Walter. Walter versus
Ilya Dragunov. Remember that match?
Yes.
Holy shit, that match was amazing. Okay, Dave Meltzer, he's a hipster, right? That match would have appealed to him, what?
Yeah, but you see, he's a hipster, but like I said, I don't want to say he's a gender, but it bodes well for him that he angkat AEW's balls. AEW gives him, the shine. So it's like a mutually workable relationship. So I'm not surprised all his fans also follow him.
I would say the best tag team match this past year was that match, honestly.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Like bell to bell, like for that 20-30 minutes, like it was just a great story being told.
Tag team match, but not the wrestling match of the year. Also, Shadow says, is this the Simp Awards? Yes, if you simp for AEW, this is it.
Yeah, apparently no Maki Ito on this award, so no simping on our side, unfortunately. Bro, like in my opinion, the bias is so clear.
It's very clear, and like we are trying to be as objective as possible, even me, right? And it shows. Okay, US Canada MVP John Moxley, like whatever. I don't know why this is an award.
So basically, the best North American wrestler, That's what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah, like everyone in NXT probably deserves this better. Let's move on. Japanese MVP is Naito. This one, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Naito had a banner year definitely in 2020.
Mexico MVP Rey Fénix. Most well known for sure.
Honestly, I'm being very honest, I don't really know a lot of Mexican wrestlers in like Lucha Libre right now. Rey Fénix definitely, in terms of the new generation, one of the most well known.
Wait, hold on. What about Dominic Mysterio? Okay, no, I'm kidding. If anything, he should be United States MVP, or I mean not MVP, but he's not in that category lah. Because he grew up in the US.
Maybe promising newcomer lah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Europe MVP Volta.
Yes.
That one cannot argue.
No questions about that.
The Hodge Award. I don't know what the Hodge Award is. The non-heavyweight MVP. Takahashi, non-heavyweight MVP. So what?
Okay. I think they're referring to Don Hodge. So Don Hodge is a very well-known. I think in the 60s he was like a very critically acclaimed wrestler who wasn't a heavyweight.
Okay.
So he's like a middleweight, or basically he's like the Malenko Award lah. Fuck.
Okay, yeah,
Takahashi,
sure.
he's a great cruiserweight. So
Sure. It's not Adam Cole. I'm sure it's not friggin' what's his face, Johnny Gargano. None of those guys.
Finn Balor.
Finn Balor. Nah, fuck those guys, man. All right. Interestingly enough. Well, I mean, okay, and this is the funny one, because it's like even AEW fans realize that their women's division sucks balls. So they have nobody to vote for, right? Women's wrestling MVP, Bayley.
Okay, so here's my question.
Yeah.
Who had a better year, Bayley or Sasha Banks?
I say Bayley. I think that in terms of evolving her character and just being a really good heel, like you never expected Bayley to become all of a sudden the most irritating Karen ever, right? But ding dong, she did it.
Yeah, nice. I like that. I like what you did there, bro. You're right. Like I didn't realize for her to turn into a heel, she just had to be a Karen.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I don't think Sasha's rise would have been quite as good if not for having Bayley be the heel.
You're right. And I guess, and this is maybe just me comparing, but from the Broken Skull sessions, right, I was sold on Bayley more than Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
If you watch both interviews, I just love how Bayley now she technically have two completely different characters that she has mastered both of them.
Yep, the hugger and now the ding dong Bayley.
Yeah, and like if nothing else, Sasha Banks evolved her character, but it's more or less the same character.
Yep.
But not a lot of wrestlers in history have gotten two characters over.
Yep.
You know,
True.
not counting Mick Foley lah. He fucking everything over lah. You know, like even okay, like if you look at it in the current landscape, I would say maybe Finn Balor. Finn Balor gotten the Prince, the Demon over. Bray Wyatt to a certain extent got the initial Eater of Worlds over for a period of time.
Speaking of Bray Wyatt, let me just quickly bring up that Bray Wyatt is on this list somewhere. And you will be surprised where he fits on this list. But yes, please carry on.
Stay tuned. But I think I have to give credit. Okay, now I'm giving credit to the Wrestling Observer Award for them to recognize Bayley's banner here, because she carried the wrestling division through the pandemic as well. Don't forget that.
Bro, is it a case of they are actually giving her credit, or AEW literally has nobody?
That's for sure. I mean, definitely
like,
they fucking have nobody.
Who, right? Thunder Rosa? Friggin' Nyla, no, none of them like have stood out at all. Hikaru Shida, no. So yeah, this only makes sense.
Okay, do you agree? Do you agree that the women's division in WWE, this includes NXT, is the best in the world right now?
Say that again, in NXT?
No, the women's division in the whole WWE, that the whole women's roster in WWE, in terms of like star-studdedness, you know, appeal and blah blah, is the best in all of wrestling right now.
Yeah, of course. Well,
yeah, even the ones in Japan, I don't think like they can hold a candle in terms of the popularity. Even in terms of the technical skills, maybe some are better, but like across the board, it's stacked. It's a stacked division, and we're not even talking about the girls that is currently out right now, like Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey.
Yeah. Oh my God, Becky Lynch. When is she coming back?
I don't know, man. I have no idea.
All right, let's move on now to the next awards. This is a strange one, and I guess because Dave Meltzer does report MMA as well, but best box office draw, Conor McGregor. Like, no links, yeah? Like, yeah, duh, the guy makes like $1 million a fight, and then what, you're going to compare him to Jon Moxley?
Okay.
What the fuck?
This is interesting. He said it's Conor McGregor, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at 2020, Conor McGregor only had one match, which is that Donald Cerrone match with the, in January, right?
He's probably, I mean, to be fair though, he probably made more in that one match than Jon Moxley does.
yeah, that's for sure. Okay, so I guess, I think if he's looking at overall combat sports, mixed martial arts, professional wrestling, sports entertainment, then yeah.
But to compare an MMA, like, I know, like, you know, a celebrity, like a draw is a draw, but to compare a Conor McGregor to like a Chris Jericho, it doesn't make sense.
For me, what would have been much better if they're going to follow like the theme of this award is to say the best box office wrestling draw.
Yeah. But then again, how do you know how much Drew makes? How do you know how much Roman Reigns makes? So this is a stupid
it's
category.
Hard because at least last time you can base it on the crowds.
Yeah.
And
now
the box office gate. But now I don't know.
Yeah. Feud of the year.
I saw this and I was very surprised.
I swear, like, we talked about how I'm just going to limit my F-bombs to 1 a stream, and then I've already dropped 4 because we're talking about AEW. This is an AEW heavy stream, right? But Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston. Get the fuck out of here. Like, what? Look, there is absolutely no objective way, even if you are an AEW fan, even in AEW itself, even if this was just the AEW awards, that shouldn't even be there. Agree?
Yeah, bro. It's not even a top 5 feud of AEW.
Yeah, let alone feud of the year. They literally fought each other once or twice. They argued with each other.
I looked through like the list of winners of this award.
Yeah.
Like over the last 20 years, 30 years, 10 years, right? In the 80s, it was Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant.
Sure, yeah.
Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Stone Cold, The Rock.
Yeah.
Hell, even John Cena, CM Punk was on this list.
And in 2020, Jon Moxley, Eddie Kingston. Hey, stop it lah. Stop it. Like, this is the most. This is the most telling one. It's like, okay, you think this is an objective list? John Moxley versus Eddie Kingston. So yeah, nothing to say there. Let's move on, I guess.
I know this is not John Moxley's idea because John Moxley is not going to ask for this kind of accolade.
No, he doesn't care about this kind of stuff. But the fact that it's so obvious that fan base is so like just they only watch this one product. Oh, everything WWE sucks. Oh, AEW is the best. Like,
oh my god, I don't know what to say, man. I don't know. Oh, bro. What about Randy Orton and Edge?
Yeah.
What about Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre? Even though yes, it went a bit long. But it was a great. What about, this is my pick, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso.
Oh, I like very hipster pick, but I like that. Wait, isn't that this year though? Not last year?
No, this past year lah, 2020 lah.
I guess.
But what I meant is like, if you're talking about feud rivalry of the year, right?
Yeah.
The story behind that feud, the matches that they had, every single match was badass.
What? So you're saying that John Moxley, Chris Jericho wasn't a good feud?
Yeah, okay, if you're talking about AEW,
AEW
John
itself.
Moxley and Chris Jericho was great. I might even dare say, and this is actually something that I'm very surprised didn't win. On AEW side, Inner Circle versus the Elite.
There you go.
To me, that match that they had, like the Stadium Stampede, was an awesome match, and it was a build up to a lot of feud because each member had a feud with each other, and it built up.
It just seems to me like there are a lot of people here just trying to be cool, trying to be hipster, and
Wrong
this
choice,
is
though.
why we have these freaking winners. All right, most improved winner Britt Baker. I'm not gonna argue about that. She
In
improved.
AEW, yes.
Yeah, in AEW. Most charismatic MJF. Okay, not gonna argue that as well.
So, yeah.
Yeah, this is a
He
funny.
should win every year, man.
I don't know about that. This is funny. The Bryan Danielson Award, as in Daniel Bryan, best technical wrestler. See, here's the thing. I guess they came out with this award because Daniel Bryan did retire, but then he came out of retirement and he's an active wrestler. The winner is Zack Sabre Jr. You know who came in at number 2?
Daniel Bryan.
He can't even win his own fucking award.
That's like fucking funny, yeah.
That is damn funny.
Like that's like Chris Jericho coming out with the Money in the Bank but never winning Money in the Bank before.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I can't say I've watched a lot of Zack Sabre Jr. this year, so.
Okay, Zack Sabre Jr. had an amazing G1 climax. That was the only time that I kind of like was really focused on New Japan wrestling. But yeah, Zack Sabre Jr. is a great technical wrestler. Even though if I were to put him in like NXT, I think he might have a few people who is like that might match up to him really, really well. Yeah.
Okay.
You know who I want to win this match in the future? This title?
Oh, who?
I believe someone like Drew Gulak can win this very easily. I believe someone like Shaq Gable, given the right match type, could win this. Timothy Thatcher.
A lot of the NXT folk
Yeah.
could step up and win that one. But I mean, yeah, like it's all voted on, so nothing from the WWE is ever going to win this. Next one, Bruiser Brody Memorial Award, the best brawler. Care to guess?
Lance Archer? No, not Lance Archer.
John Moxley. Again. This one I'm not so offended with. Like, he is like technically one of the better brawlers out there.
Yeah,
but
I mean, there is his style.
yeah.
You know what? I won't be surprised. Like 20 years ago, Stone Cold would have won this title.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that makes sense.
Stone Cold in 1997 would have won the Bryan Danielson Award, and Stone Cold in 2000 would be the best brawler.
Yes, yeah. Wow. Okay, the best flying wrestler, Rey Fenix. Okay.
Yeah, Rey Fenix. Bro, Rey Fenix, right, is really the evolution of Rey Mysterio, though. Really. I've seen some of the things that he's done. It's crazy, man.
But then Rey Mysterio doesn't botch quite as much.
Maybe he needs to learn how to speak English. Then he know how to actually like, hey, get out of the way.
I find it funny that the award is called Best Flying and not Best High Flyer. So technically, even if Rey Fenix does botch stuff, he's still flying. He just miss. He's technically still flying, so it works.
That's a good analogy, bro.
Okay.
He can fly.
Here we go. Most overrated. Okay, this is quite divisive. All right, and I'm not surprised that this audience didn't like this character, but Bray Wyatt. Now, we've talked about how we enjoy the Fiend's work, Bray Wyatt's work, right? Isn't this just a case of AEW hardcores hating on WWE?
I wouldn't say he's the most overrated wrestler in all of wrestling. I can name at least 3 people who in WWE who's more overrated than him.
Sure, go ahead.
Braun Strowman.
Okay.
Agree, right? Fucking agree, right?
No, yes, maybe.
Bro, he acts like he's like fucking like he's a big deal.
But you see, that's just an issue of booking. They've booked him so poorly. I feel like they're punishing him or something.
Okay, well, how will you define overrated then in wrestling?
Like, there's a lot of buzz about them, but they aren't really that good. But like, you know, Bray Wyatt is a character. He found that sweet spot where he doesn't even need to wrestle. He can just do vignettes and not hurt himself, you know? So I don't know, maybe people are salty about that. But like, you're talking about overrated, like all you need to do is look...
You know who you would vote for?
Everyone in AEW.
I can even hazard a guess specifically who you would vote for.
Go.
Cody.
Yes. Yes, that would be my vote. Okay? Highly over... Wrestling has more than one... whatever legacy family. Shut the fuck up.
Okay, you know who I will vote for, and it surprises even me.
What? Who?
I would think John Moxley is overrated.
I actually would agree with you.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Bro, this is against me last year because I remember in 2019 we did the 2019 awards, Kick to the Gut awards last year.
Yeah.
And I voted John Moxley as my best wrestler.
Right.
Because he had a crazy year.
But
then just overexposure in 2020, man.
Yeah. Not only like overexposure, but the idea that they are like selling him as this amazing, like, you know, he's the champion. They keep putting all the shine on him, but he hasn't done anything really that outstanding. So actually, you know what? More than Cody, I will agree with you. At least Cody is like trying to put over young talent. Mox is like, so yeah, I actually will agree with you.
Mox wasn't even the best wrestler in the Shield. I mean,
true.
So I guess he had to leave the promotion to get his own shine. Yeah. So yeah, overrated. I would say John Moxley, man. Yeah. The reason why I wouldn't say the Fiend is because the Fiend was so smart enough to like use this gimmick that he doesn't even actually have to wrestle. The Fiend has never had a television match the entire time he has been the Fiend. He's only had a match as Bray Wyatt wrestling on TV.
Yeah.
So you cannot say he's overexposed. And in terms of overratedness, he's not the best wrestler. Yeah. But his character is one of the most compelling on TV.
Bro, you know what this is? I mean, we've talked about this a million times already. It's a bunch of fans who don't like WWE and everyone's talking about The Fiend. So, most overrated lah. There you go. So anyway, yeah.
Call for Dave Meltzer, man.
Well, I mean, it is his newsletter. Referee Ryan says, I thought Young's most overrated would be the Young Bucks. Oh yeah, they're definitely there. But I've said this before. It's not like they're incapable of good match. I'm not saying that they are lousy wrestlers, not by a long shot. Remember, we watched a Young Bucks match once, and I had nothing but good things to say about it. They had psychology, blah, blah, blah. It's just that they've been wrestling this indie style for so long. It's like they just want high spot, and none of the booking makes sense as it relates to them. So anyway,
maybe most overrated tag team, perhaps.
Okay, there you go. Oh yeah, definitely with all the hype they have. Ugh. Anyway, most underrated. Okay, this is a weird one. And
I'm curious.
This could be said about a lot of wrestlers, to be honest. Ricochet.
Ricochet. You know what? Actually, I agree. But I wouldn't say he's the only one. Like, if you want to talk about underrated, where is Aleister Black on this list?
Yeah. Well, has he been injured or what happened to him?
No, he just left out of TV, bro. After the whole Zelina Vega thing happened, he got drafted to SmackDown.
Oh, yeah.
And he doesn't done shit since he was in SmackDown.
Poor guy. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay, I guess the whole idea of being underrated is people don't give him enough props, but I feel like the indie wrestling scene or the internet wrestling community does give him props. So I don't think he's underrated.
You're talking about Ricochet?
Yeah. Like, underrated would be someone, to me anyway, how I understand that word is like someone who doesn't get a lot of props, but actually is putting a lot of work in. And you know who I would pick as the most underrated?
In his WWE?
WWE.
Cesaro?
No. Actually, yeah, he would rank up there. Look, here's the thing. I'm not going to pick someone for AEW because everyone in AEW thinks that everyone in AEW, all the wrestlers are great. And just not getting their shine in the WWE. Actually, it makes sense that they picked the WWE guy because to AEW fans, WWE misuses their talent, which they do. But it's not surprising that they picked a WWE guy. To me, the most underrated is The Miz. Like when you talk about someone who really doesn't get props.
You know what? I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Like
honestly, the Miz has been like consistently great at what he does since 2016.
But people still shit on him when he wins the title. Oh, he doesn't deserve it. Stuff like that, you know? Like, I would rank Baron Corbin as well up there, but I don't think he's like had that sort of pivotal moment yet. But The Miz did. He essentially, if you think about this current title scene, right? He is the pivot. Like, you couldn't have Drew drop it to Lashley. You had to give it to somebody that people wanted or would buy as like a chicken shit. I want to see him lose, and that had to be The Miz.
Yeah, you brought a great point, bro. And like you said that he lasted for only a week, but you know what? I would say the one guy that kind of is finally getting his just due now, but I think he's been underrated for a long time, is Lashley. So it's like he underrated guy giving props to another underrated guy, you know. I would say he's the most deserving of being a champion for a very long time. Actually, ever since he came back 2018, when he had his whole like Lashley like when he first came back, got to the main roster, I thought he was just straight away gonna fight Roman Reigns, straight away gonna fight Brock Lesnar straight away. But he floundered, man, for a while.
Well, I think that is because he just needed the right mouthpiece, and now he has the perfect mouthpiece and faction in MVP, right? Leo Rush was just annoying.
He just had to wait like 3 years for MVP to come back to WWE.
Div Royalty agrees, saying The Miz is awesome.
Nice. Good to know.
Yes, Corbin is too good as a heel. So there you go.
But I don't disagree that Ricochet is not given the love that he deserves.
But here's the thing: this is the most underrated, not most underused category.
That's a good way of framing that, bro.
Yeah,
that's a good way.
And you've heard my criticisms about Ricochet before. Like, beyond an awesome selling guy, what is he? High flyers are a dime a dozen. You know,
he's a Latino. See, I don't think he's even Latino. He's like black, I think.
Yeah, what the hell? He just changed his race all of a sudden. Div Royalty brings up a very good one. I was thinking about him as well. John Morrison. This one is underrated and underused, both.
You know what's interesting? 10 years ago, everyone was saying that John Morrison is going to be the breakout star between The Miz and John Morrison.
Yeah.
Now he's the underrated guy and The Miz is the superstar.
Yeah. Wow. But still an underrated superstar. But remember last week we were talking about John Morrison and why he just fundamentally cannot make it to that next level. Because of his character.
Because the way he feels like a performer than a fighter, like a wrestler, you know.
Like even The Miz is more of a fighter. Like I can believe his moveset more so than John Morrison.
Maybe John Morrison needs to fight in a hardcore match against like a brawler, like fucking somebody who can beat his, like he needs to fight Brock Lesnar or something and survive.
Yeah. And do some cool parkour moves and dazzle people, maybe. Yeah. But they have to make it believable. Okay, Rookie of the Year is an interesting one. And he is like literally a proper rookie because he's not a wrestler and he became a wrestler for 1 or 2 matches. Pat McAfee.
You know, I like that choice.
Yeah, I won't argue with that because, to be honest, like when you say Rookie of the Year, right? A lot of these wrestlers have been wrestling in the indies for many, many years. Technically, they're not rookies.
But Pat McAfee literally picked up wrestling probably like this past year.
Yeah. Hey, maybe...
And just like killed it, man.
Yeah. I won't disagree with this one. This one's actually a good choice. Can you imagine 2021 awards? Rookie of the Year. Shaq.
Hey, you know, I gotta give props to Shaq. If for those of you who didn't watch AEW today, so he had a match, right? Tag team match with Jade Cargill against Cody and the one that looks like Brandy, but it's not Brandy. It's like he literally just copy paste another black woman that looks like my wife.
Yeah, because Brandy got pregnant, so she got wrestled, so she just filled in. But he took a big table bump.
He had a great performance. I mean, for his limitations, he was really entertaining as a big man heel. He gave a sweet power bomb to Cody.
Yeah.
You know, and he took that badass bump at the side. So I'm surprised that he took that bump. So
question why is an attraction like him on a free show? Why is he not on Revolution?
Well, obviously, the story of that match is not him. It's the girl. They're making Jade Cargill.
Jade Cargill is not on Revolution as well. Look, the point of paying for a pay-per-view is to see things that we will not see on free TV, correct? So why would you put Shaq, who is a draw, like he's an NBA legend, you know, and he's wrestling? Why would you have him on the show before the pay-per-view? That makes zero sense whatsoever. Are they trying to just beat NXT at this point?
I think that makes sense, and I will explain to you why.
Okay.
If you're a Shaq fan and you're curious to watch him wrestle, why would you want to pay? Like you're not a wrestling fan. I'm just talking about just a casual fan. You're a basketball fan. You like Shaq, and then suddenly you hear, "Hey, Shaq is gonna wrestle," and then what if I tell you, "Oh, yeah, you wanna watch him wrestle? You go pay $29.90." That's like, for fuck. Yeah, I'm a fan of him, but I'm not gonna pay money to watch him wrestle. It's gonna be shit, what? But the curiosity factor is still there. Therefore, maybe AEW is thinking, you know what? Put it on free TV, but put it on the show right before their big pay-per-view. So then you go and watch. First match already, AEW on Dynamite is really that Shaq match.
Yeah.
So like these casuals all like, oh, okay, nice. I can watch it very fast, see what's up. Then I say, fuck off. Then I go and I watch. And then, okay, he's entertaining, he's interesting. And then throughout the course of the rest of the match or the show itself, they're hyping the pay-per-view for Revolution.
I get your idea, but also there is a flaw in this booking. If that were the case, then you put your draw, which is Shaq, right? You put it in the middle or the end, not at the freaking start. That makes zero sense whatsoever. Because if you're going to sell something, you're going to sell it like, yes, Shaq is going to have his very first match. Shaq is going to be in action, but you don't know when. Not the very first match. If you want people to tune in and be like, oh, when is Shaq coming on? You don't tell them when Shaq is coming on. You put it somewhere in the middle or the end of the card so people are forced to watch from the start. And then while they're watching, that's when you put in your other stuff to sell the pay-per-view. So even by that logic, it's poorly booked.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree that they should have put that as a main event as opposed to the big money mat match.
Yeah, like wow, you know that ended in a big schmoz.
Yeah. Like I would definitely have wanted to have that Jade Cargill that dream match as like one of the main selling points of the show. But my problem is, and this goes back to AEW's booking. Yes, Shaq is the draw. That might open up new eyes to watch this particular episode. It might be an opportunity for them to promote the pay-per-view. But his feud with Cody doesn't lead to any highlight of a match that Cody is going to be in, which is the face of the Revolution match, right?
No, nothing to do with it.
You know what would make more sense? If on commentary, instead of Scorpio Sky commentating on the other match, he should be commentating on this match.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's gonna be, at least there's some promotion to the match. So I guess it's a good showcase of Shaq, but for what purpose, to what end, a bit of a waste.
Bro, this goes back to the whole booking of AEW. It's rubbish. It's just they're just throwing shit out there to see what sticks. There's no real plan here.
You know what this reminds me of?
What?
Remember that one random episode of Dynamite where Mike Tyson came out?
Yeah.
Never to be seen again.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is exactly it.
Didn't they sell that though? They promoted that, right?
They promoted him appearing on... okay, now I know. Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
Was when they debuted the TNT Championship and Mike Tyson was the one that was debuting it.
And when he showed up, it was the last segment of the free show. I don't know, maybe Shaq had prior engagements. He can only be here till this time, so he better do the first. Whatever it is, it was just, to me, it just made zero sense. And you know what? You know what? I actually watched AEW late today. So most people are not going to tune in at exactly 9 on the dot. When I tuned in, freaking that match was over already. So I'm like, that's so dumb. You had a headliner match. You should have put it somewhere in the middle so people can... Anyway.
But do you admit that one of the reasons that you watched Dynamite today, you also were curious to see that Shaq match?
Actually, no, not really. I didn't care.
No, okay, so you just watched just for the sake of watching it.
Yeah, for the sake of watching. Like, to me, it's like, okay, yeah, Shaq is a legend basketball player, but at this point, it's like not as relevant as, let's say, if he did this when he was still playing with the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
or whatever.
Oh well. But all I can say is I was a bit disappointed. There wasn't any Paul White running to face Shaq.
I mean, hopefully that could be a pay-per-view down the line. Paul White versus Shaq. I mean, they've talked about it for years, right?
Yeah. They should lah.
Let's move on. Best non-wrestler, Taz. All right, as a faction leader, I suppose that works.
Okay.
Then
On the very same token, I would say MVP.
But MVP is a wrestler. He wrestled last year, so it doesn't count.
Who else would be a great personality? Tony Khan.
Oh God! Don't worry, Tony Khan is still coming on this list. Okay, this is literally the worst, most egregious. Okay, maybe this is not the most egregious bias, but best TV announcer.
Really?
Guess
Okay.
who?
Guess. Well, you can't be giving a middle finger to Tony Schiavone because he was a great
No.
announcer. Oh my God! I know what.
Who?
I know who.
Who?
Excalibur, is it?
Oh yeah, of course.
No wonder you give middle finger.
The Smarks love X. He is the voice of the Smarks.
You gotta give the people what they want.
Give them proper commentary. How about that?
Bro. NXT even I think even in NXT Wade Barrett already has surpassed.
Yeah. So,
Fucking-
and this is not me trying to angkat WWE's balls. You know, I'm a fan and everything, but like I dare say, even the freaking what's that? Vic Joseph is better than Excalibur, for crying out loud.
I think Vic Joseph is really modeling himself after Mauro Ronaldo in a good way. Like he's taking a lot of things that Mauro Ronaldo probably invented him.
Yep. Actually, he just looks and sounds like a Michael Cole, to be honest, who is criminally underrated. By the way, talking about underrated, right? I don't know why people shit on Michael Cole so much. I think in about 20 years, when Michael Cole retires, people will be like looking back going, oh man, Michael Cole was awesome.
You know, most people forgot that Michael Cole was also part of Attitude Era. And he actually called a lot of great moments in Attitude Era.
Like, I mean, obviously everyone has sort of a learning curve, and maybe he was like this nerdy fella to begin with, and then people like always, make fun of him. But like, he's also been part of a lot of storylines. He's turned heel.
He's made a lot of iconic calls.
Yeah.
A lot of people forgot that the one where Mankind won his first title was Michael Cole calling the match. Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle main event at WrestleMania was Michael Cole and Taz.
Yeah.
He was a voice to a lot of very great moments, and people forget or take him for granted because he's been there for a very, very long time.
And he is very good at setting up the scene. He's very good at leading Corey Graves in, because that's his partner now. And Corey Graves is another one that's really, really good.
Yeah. Someone who's really, really good, even though he's like very recent to the commentary booth, Samoa Joe.
Oh my God, yes. Actually, I would put Samoa Joe right there as best TV announcer. I mean, okay, maybe TV announcer needs to be like a play-by-play guy, and Samoa Joe is more of a color.
Yeah. But what I like Samoa Joe a lot is, I guess when he reminds me of who's that heavyweight Daniel Cormier on UFC commentary.
Yeah.
Like he is the equivalent. Why I say so is like he's that veteran voice, veteran wrestler who became a commentator who you will trust his expertise.
Yes.
Because of that you're interested to see his insight into certain things and all that. And when he gets really excited or like he's hyping up, right? He has this very aggressive like almost like guttural call, like and he's coming with the kick. And I kind of like it. It's a signature almost.
And he's actually funny. He's very funny. He has these one-liners that are witty.
Oh my God.
He would just throw it in there and they just put Byron Saxton down. Byron Saxton is there to be a punching bag lah.
Bro, do you remember this call? I can't remember which exact episode of it.
Yeah.
But last year, right, he made a reference to Wendy on commentary.
Is it?
Okay, I can't remember exactly when. But I think it was something to do with like AJ Styles. I think around the Undertaker feud. This one I can't remember. But there was this situation where AJ Styles got injured or got sent home or something. And then he was saying like, we wish AJ Styles a speedy recovery, and I hope he's spending great quality time with his wife. And then right, Tom Phillips or what continued talking lah.
Yeah.
And then Samoa Joe just stared at the camera and just was smiling like, I hope he's doing well with his wife. They're like,
throwback.
like, this motherfucker.
Wendy. Oh, Wendy.
You know what I mean? Like I like his that sadistic, like
Yeah.
that the wink at the camera kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Because we know he's a badass. Remember
Yeah.
when he stood up for Dominic Mysterio? Also?
Yeah. He totally sold it. It totally worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would put a multitude of people there ahead of Excalibur, even Tony Schiavone, who, when he first started, I will say this, when Tony Schiavone first got added to the commentary booth, right, he felt like he was like not here, not there, but now he's actually, I feel, the glue that holds this three-man team together.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you
I
have
think-
JR, the old veteran, you have Excalibur, the smart machine, and you have Tony Schiavone, the play-by-play guy, the guy who sets up everything.
I think Tony Schiavone is like AEW's Michael Cole in a way.
Yeah.
Like he's the guy that kind of, because he doesn't just do commentary, like he's going to the ring, conducting interviews, you know, he's doing a lot of like promo and hyping up matches.
Yeah.
I like his voice because his voice is very steady, bro.
Yeah.
Like you feel comfortable with his voice. So I'm happy for him that he's gotten this second chance in wrestling.
It's Sting. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, that one is cute lah. But
Yeah.
you know what's my favorite interaction with him, which I wish there was more of?
What's that?
Whatever he did with Britt Baker lah.
Oh, yeah. That was funny stuff. Okay,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
move on. Worst TV announcer. Ugh, and yeah, going back to the whole underrated. Michael Cole. Shut up. Stop it. All right? This is not me being a WWE fanboy. Michael Cole is criminally underrated, and we will miss him when he stops calling the action.
Why not Dio Madin? He lasted for like fucking 3 weeks or 4 weeks, then kena kill off by Brock Lesnar, and now part of Retribution.
You mean what's his name now?
Mace.
Mace.
Yeah.
Worst TV announcer. I'm sure there are a lot worse. You know, have you watched Impact?
Holy shit, George Matthews.
I don't think Josh Matthews is that bad, but his wife is kind of rough.
No, but she's new lah, so
Yeah, I guess. Beth Phoenix is improving a little bit, but still a little bit rough.
maybe 2 years ago I would have said Renee Young.
Oh,
Not because she's a bad announcer. I just think she's very ill suited to the role.
yeah. She's a much better like analyst.
Yeah, or like a host
Interviewer,
or what.
yeah.
You know why? Because if like you have iconic moments or like very intense matches, I just can't imagine her voice being the one that is like calling all these
Yeah.
like bloody or violent moments. You know what I mean?
True,
Just doesn't really ring.
Like, let me draw a parallel. It's like having having Mean Gene as a commentator. If you think about it.
Yeah. Binjin doesn't work as a commentator. And
But-
he's never done that
Yeah,
job.
but as a backstage interviewer,
Amazing.
legend. All right, let's move on. Best wrestling show or best major wrestling show, AEW Revolution from last year. Okay, yeah, sure, whatever.
Okay, AEW Revolution was a great
It was.
pay-per-view.
It was.
It was good. But yeah lah, I don't know what else they're comparing it to.
I don't
you know
know
what?
about-
I would say WWE's best wrestling show last year,
Yeah.
to me, is Royal Rumble.
Isn't Rumble in January though?
Yeah lah, we're talking about 2020, right?
Oh, as in last. Oh yeah, the one where Drew won.
Yeah, the very well booked Royal Rumble match.
Yes, yeah, I agree. Actually, yeah, that's a very good point.
And the fans there, Ages Return.
Yeah.
Even some of like the undercut matches were great, man. So yeah, I miss
Worst major wrestling show. Okay, this one
Super
we can.
Showdown. Let me guess.
Yeah, we can all agree on this.
Yeah.
Super Showdown. There you go.
Bro,
No
fuck
need-
that.
No need to talk. No need to talk.
Fuck that.
Okay, this is just a stupid category. Best wrestling maneuver. Kenny Omega's one-winged angel. Okay, no need to talk about. Because it's like, what? There are like a million in one. How about a punch? Huh? Right hand. That's a good wrestling maneuver. If done well. Any wrestling maneuver when done well is a good. So to have a category for this is like self-wang. Anyway, most disgusting promotional tactic. Okay, this is another like, let's shit on the WWE as much as possible. Let's try to be as hipster as possible. WWE firing people during a pandemic, during a year where they were setting profit records. Okay, first of all, it's by promotional tactic, I mean, I guess they mean tactic or thing
Something that they
a
did in the promotion.
a promotion has done, because they didn't promote the fact that they fired people. It just happened, right?
Yeah. You know what? I thought the definition of it, and to bring up your point, is that they were doing something like promoting a match or an event, and they did something that is like dastardly, like
Distasteful.
like they exploited someone's death
Yeah.
to promote, you know?
So this to me doesn't make sense. It's just a
Yeah.
like most shitty behavior. Like what?
Yeah, okay. It's fucked up. Yes, what WWE was fucked up, but it's not a promotional tactic going
Yeah.
by their definition, right?
Yeah.
So, you know what? You know what's a more discussing promotional tactic? I would say. Oh, you know what? But AEW will not be mentioned about this because they are so high and mighty, right?
What?
Carrying on the Matt Hardy Sammy Guevara match, even though Matt Hardy had a concussion.
Oh, right. Yeah. Of course, yeah. That's never going to pop up on this list.
Yeah, but
so.
that is like legitimately, objectively fucked up.
Yeah, it is. True. Worst TV show, WWE Raw, Roll My Eye.
I mean, I don't disagree that Raw sucks can be fucked up sometimes. Yes.
Last year, especially start of the pandemic, when they were trying to, there
hard
were
to watch,
true.
man.
There were some really rough shows, but then again, there were rough shows all across the board. So,
have they watched an episode of Impact?
yeah, exactly right. Even now, Impact is struggling. So,
Holy crap!
yeah. Anyway, worst match of the year. Braun Strowman versus The Fiend. Swamp fight from the horror show at Extreme Rules. Okay, this was pretty bad, yes.
Yeah, let's agree. Okay, you know what? It's a cross between, it's a tie between that and Goldberg versus The Fiend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, an AEW match cannot show up here. Well, what about any of their women's matches? Yeah, thank you very much. Worst feud of the year, Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. It's pretty bad.
It could have had so much potential, but they just went a weird ass route. I don't know.
Most biased award. No, I'm sorry. Worst promotion of the year, WWE. Really? Like, okay, this is obvious bias right here.
WWE.
Like,
not the worst.
What about all the other promotions out there? Like, worse in what sense? Like, what kind of... This is just a... Let's shit on them because it's cool to shit on them sort of an award. This is the most egregious fucking win right here. Best Booker.
Your favorite guy.
Okay, I'm sorry, but this is just the, like, oh my god, could you possibly uncut balls and suck a dick more? Tony Khan, best booker, shut the fuck up. Seriously. We just spent the last hour and a half, actually, we are hitting 2 hours already. We just spent that amount of time talking about how AEW has been inconsistent. They haven't been paying off their storylines. There have been no real proper storylines getting dropped left, right, and center. And that is all Booker's decision. How can you say Tony Khan is the best booker? What kind of bullshit is this?
You know, I would say that the best booker this past year, I would still think is New Japan's booking. Gedo.
Yeah, sure.
Like, I can always count on New Japan, right? Okay, even if like their matches are not the most high profile or what, but you can always count on them to have logical storytelling.
Right.
You know, like the booking makes sense. Like, even if they take certain risks, like, okay, Evil was a very out of left field choice, but the way they explain it was well explained. So I thought New Japan's Gedo did a really good job this year.
Yeah. To be fair, who the hell are the bookers in WWE? It's a writing team. I guess if there's anybody you could pick, Triple H and Shawn Michaels as the bookers of NXT.
Bruce Pritchard, probably for the main shows.
Yeah, Vince McMahon. I mean, technically it's Vince McMahon, right?
Yeah.
So, but to say that Tony Khan is the best booker of the year, no, that's just bias. Referee Ryan agrees, says bias AF. You know what? Best booker of 2020 to me? T.
What? Who?
T.
T? Who's
Think about
T?
it.
Test.
Oh my god, you don't get the joke.
Oh!
Booker T.
Fuck off, bro.
The best booker of the year was Booker T. I mean, can you actually argue with me?
He's the only booker that's a Booker T.
Who else in the realm of booking pro wrestling shows have really stood out this past year? Nobody.
Oh my god, Booker T. I can't believe I didn't get that.
It took you a while. Okay, let's move on. Promoter of the year. Tony Khan.
Difference between booker and promoter is a difference now.
Okay, see, this one I'm not so annoyed at because promoter of the year is someone who promotes a TV show. So he has $1 million business. He managed to get TV rights and continue, being able to run a show. So if you say Tony Khan, okay lah, you know, even though you have a shit product, I mean, okay, it's not a shit product, especially not to these voters here, but even though you have the product being what it is, he still managed to sell it. So if that is the case, then I say yes, promoter of the year, Tony Khan, sure.
He is the promoter of the year. That's what he won that award as well.
Yeah, he won the award, both Booker and promoter. Booker, no. Promoter, can argue.
Yeah. Promoter of the year, yeah, I guess so.
Well, like who else? There's Vince McMahon, there's Triple H, and then there's Impact, ROH, New Japan. Nah, yeah, I think AEW did a good job booking. Yeah.
Promoting their shows.
Yeah, not booking. There's a huge difference. Promoting their shows, yes. They leverage on their fan base. They got them hyped up. They got them to pay. But booking, no. All right, let's move on. Best gimmick, Orange Cassidy.
Let me think. I would say Roman Reigns.
Yeah, so would I. I would say somebody else, but this somebody else won worst gimmick, the Fiend Bray Wyatt.
The Fiend maintains here.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. The Fiend, at least with his gimmick, like you said, has maintained it, has put him at a level where he can continue. Orange Cassidy,
What's his ceiling?
Yeah, he's reached his ceiling with Chris Jericho, and that's it. I mean, maybe they could have pushed him more, but AEW doesn't have the right booking. Oh wait, I'm sorry, they have the best booker after all.
That's the problem. After he actually got like the rocket ship up his ass, right, by winning against Chris Jericho.
Yep.
He should have contend for the TNT Championship already, but instead.
Oh, and there you go. That's best booker of the year.
I love it. Hey, bro, Mr. Young getting pissed off his ratings, bro.
This is stop it. This is just the most tiltifyingly biased vote. Like if this was in any way objective whatsoever, I'd be like, okay, I can buy it. You know, if this were the AEW awards, okay, fine. But no, this is supposed to be all of pro wrestling, and this is supposed to be a guy or a group of people who are supposed to be smart. They should be in the know. They should appreciate good wrestling. But yeah, anyway, let's see. Worst gimmick, best gimmick. Okay, two more. Best pro wrestling book, Young Bucks Killing the Business, blah, blah, blah. Okay, of course. Actually,
I haven't read the book. I bought it like a couple of months ago.
Oh,
it's
really?
still sitting in my room.
You give me the book, I want to super kick it.
Let me read it first, okay? Because I fucking spent $30+ on that shit.
Oh, yeah. So you have to read it first, huh?
Yeah.
Even referee Ryan agrees. How the hell is the Fiend the worst gimmick? Oh, there have been worse gimmicks, trust me. Hey, wait, was Lana and Lashley last year? Or was it the year before? I forgot.
Nah, thank God it's 2019. So.
Oh, 19, okay. Technically not the worst then.
Bro, best gimmick, Hurt Business. Hello?
Oh, yeah? Even Revolution,
Retribution.
Retribution at the start.
Intriguing.
But okay, I guess it wouldn't be best. But yeah, Hurt Business, that's a good one. Roman Reigns and his whole tribal chief business, that's one.
Yep, head of the tribal chief. Even Randy Orton, this year he came back, had that legend killer kind of ish gimmick.
Yeah,
that was dope.
Yeah, it's not Orange Cassidy. If anything, most wasted boost to the top, Orange Cassidy. There you go. Maybe we should come up with our own awards.
We had bro last year.
Oh,
we should
yeah,
have
that's
done
true.
2021.
That's true. Okay,
but
and
never mind. We'll do one in 2021 if wrestling gets better. Okay.
Best pro wrestling documentary, Dark Side of the Ring, Owen Hart. That one, yes, sure.
Undisputed for sure.
Well then again, the Undertaker stuff.
Ooh, that's right.
But then again, you can never give credit to a WWE production if you are.
Okay, you know what? I will disagree. I would say the best Dark Side of the Ring episode is actually the Chris Benoit one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The two-parter. Because I remember when I first watched it and like all the details that came out, oh my god, I had chills, bro.
Yeah, blown away. You were blown away?
Yeah. And like just the way they laid out the story. Like it felt like, those like kind of true crime drama documentary. I love that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you have it. That's the 2020 Wrestling Observer Awards. I know I keep doing air quotes for awards. That's how I feel anyway. I don't know about you about the objectiveness about those awards.
I think Kick Together will come with our own awards ceremony.
I'm just
2021.
I'm just kind of sad that there is this like huge divide where you have to be a fan of a certain product and shit on everything else. Like, why can't we try to watch everything and, you know, appreciate it for what it is. Like, this is so obviously a very biased award.
Okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and by that same token, I'm trying to appreciate AEW for what it is, you know.
A shit show?
I'm trying not to shit on them because, like, you know me, I always give props where they credit where it's due. If it's good, I would say it's good. So but on the basis of these awards, I'm just saying that it is not fully representative of wrestling in 2020.
No, it is not. And to be fair, wrestling in 2020 was rough because there was a lot of pivoting. People needed to figure out what the hell. I mean, people were getting sick and getting ill, getting, you know, their jobs affected. So I don't think that they had a lot of like emphasis on like, oh, let's book properly. No, there were a lot of other things to think about.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, you know, if nothing else, we hope wrestling gets better this year. It seems like WrestleMania is going to have a crowd.
Yeah.
So that's always a great thing.
Well, to me, when you look at the current products right now, at least WWE has like a proper, you can see the trajectory, like where they're going with storyline, stuff like that, and a lot of swerves here and there. Whereas with AEW, it still seems like just this mess. And I feel like they're trying to recreate the chaos of the Attitude Era, but on the same token as well, the chaos of the Attitude Era still had like a thread running through it. You know what I mean? There's still, okay, Austin is on top, The Rock is bubbling under, Triple H is there. You know, there was still like a, you know who or what is going, like somebody has a vision. You know what? Okay, this feels like, I'm going to go full nerd here right now. The difference is WWE is like Marvel and AEW is like DC. With their movie films, with their movies. DC is like one film here, one film there. We try to put it all together, but it's all failing because there is not one person sort of driving the ship. Whereas on the Marvel/Disney side of it, you have Kevin Feige, who is the head of Marvel Studios. Like, he oversees everything so that there is sort of like a continuity all throughout the product. Even if one sucks, at least there's still continuity.
For better or for worse, at least Vince McMahon is the only one running the show, like the final decision maker. Yeah. That at least keeps the product consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it sucks, it sucks. But like, you cannot say that WWE has deviated from their formula.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And actually, right, even if they deviate, right, it's so rare that it actually becomes like a very cool, monumental thing when it happens. So, I guess the lesson that can be learned here, before we wrap things up, right, is that sometimes placating to your fans can be a big issue, because at the end of the day, right, wrestling fans, like every other fan base, are fickle. One day they might like this guy, next day they might not like that guy. It's not up to you, and it's not up to the fans to dictate. Yes, the fans might dictate and give reference of who they like and that kind of stuff, but it's still up to you to tell the stories, and then we're supposed to react accordingly. Right. Now, I mean, for example, if I watch WandaVision, right, then I don't like that. For example,
hey, no spoiler, no spoilers.
I'm not gonna spoil, but I'm just saying I don't like that this storyline with Vision, like Vision had to die.
Yeah.
Why Vision die?
Oh, okay. Now everyone knows that already. He died in the Endgame.
That was known 2 years ago in Infinity War, bro. Okay. For example, for example, Vision died. Vision got snapped. Why is Vision got snapped? He's such a powerful. He's one of the most powerful characters, the whole of the universe. Blah blah blah. And then everyone and then Kevin Feige is like, oh shit, I had to placate my fans. Okay, fuck. Vision never died. Never
Bring
mind.
him back. Well, I mean,
next movie, a bullshit way of bringing him back, like that doesn't even make sense. But he's still part of the people that got unsnapped.
Well, I mean, that was the big criticism about the last Star Wars movie, right? Like, they tried so hard to placate the fans that they made a shit movie.
Yeah, like for example, right, your first Force Awakens placate the fans, too retro. But then the criticism was what? Why are you all retreading on the past? Why are you relying on nostalgia? You should move forward. Wow, Last Jedi, not only did they move forward, they went 300 steps in the wrong direction. And then, like, you know what I mean? And then like, some people say it was really, really bold. They really want to like circumvent the fans, like manage expectation, blah, blah, blah. And then like the people were like, wow, you just fucked up the entire Star Wars universe for us. Like, this is terrible, blah, blah, blah. And then you're right. They try to placate the fans so much in the final movie that it just became a jumbled mess.
Yeah. So I guess at the end of the day, you still have to stick to your guns, tell the stories. The veterans need to tell. You see, because fans will always have something to say. We and I'm looking at us too. We are guilty of this. We think we know better. We think we know, but sometimes we don't. And that's the thing that fans need to understand. Sometimes we don't know better. Sometimes we just need to let the story play out, and if it works, we react to it. If it doesn't work, we don't react to it. That's why I think that AEW is in this weird spot of they are trying too hard to listen to their fans, and then it's like this boys club lah. Like, oh, I hire all my friends, and now they have a bloated roster, and like everybody and their mother is on the show.
Let's just end this by saying, right, how I know that AEW started listening to their fans like in a bad way. The moment they deviated from their initial premise, a sports-like presentation.
Presentation.
And you know what? When they first came out and they were hyping like that, actually all of us were curious.
Yeah.
We wanted to see how this sports-like league point system kind of deal is going to happen. And even if with all the criticism, even if they had stick to their guns after 1 year, people couldn't say like, oh, they all just chop and change chapalang and then become a wrestling circus show
right
at the end of 1 year. They would have said, okay, you know what? This is their thing. It might not be for everyone, but this is how we are gonna go. Like, and it works for certain promotions, man. Like New Japan until now, G1
Still.
Climax. How many years already?
Yeah. But now what we have is a freaking circus. AEW is a circus, and if you like that kind of stuff, that's great. But don't come and try to tell us, oh yeah, we are the alternative. No, you're doing the same shit.
Before we wrap up, right? There's one piece of news that some people have been asking me for us to comment on.
Okay.
And I'm not sure whether you know about this, but apparently New Japan is unifying both their heavyweight and intercontinental title into one belt.
Yes.
So they're going to retire the current designs for both belts, which apparently has caused an uproar in the New Japan fan base as well.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that belt is beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful. Actually, if you look at all the belts, like, it's very similar to the old World Heavyweight, the WCW title, in that style, that big gold. I actually do kind of miss that big gold. So the reasoning behind this, apparently, like they explain, is that the Intercontinental title has reached such a similar level of prestige as the heavyweight championship. So that's how they try to explain it. That they find that there's no reason to separate the two, and they just combine and they just start a new linear linearship of the title. What do you think about that? I don't hate it, but of course that's just bad for the mid-carders lah. Because at the end of the day, that's what an IC or US or a mid-card belt is for, right? It's to give the mid-carders. But if their idea is that, our mid-carders are actually so good, they also contend for the championship, then sure, fine. Do they have other titles? I'm sure they have other titles as well.
Yeah, they do. Okay, but if the IC is out of the picture, the one that will raise in profile will be the US Heavyweight Championship, and also not forgetting the Never Openweight Championship. So the Never Openweight Championship is a very interesting championship because it was initially created, right, for those people who are technically, it's a mid-card championship. It was their version of like, okay, this guy is not in the heavyweight picture, then put them in the Never Openweight Championship. So it's almost like their European title, their TV title. It's like the third tier,
Okay lah, so obviously they have an issue with too many belts, so it makes sense that they just remove one. And, I think if there's any sort of explanation, that explanation that they gave was a very good one. So
and I hope that WWE does the same shit with their title.
Really? No. You still need a mid card. You need maybe not two tag team titles.
If the Universal Championship, they fucking change the design, make it look super regal and royal, like the big gold belt, then I think I can accept the Universal Championship as a separate championship.
You're not feeling the blue, huh?
Bro, fucking red, blue, next thing what? Purple.
No,
then become Jeff Hardy title.
No, you need an NXT guy to win it, bring it to NXT, and then become gold. That's how you do it, bro. Finn Balor.
Early WrestleMania predictions. This is what I want to happen.
Okay.
I want Finn Balor to defend his NXT Championship at the main show of WrestleMania.
I think they should. It only makes sense. And because they have 2 days as well. So.
And against who? My smart money is on Adam Cole.
Ooh, baby.
Because I want Adam Cole. Okay, Adam Cole, I think is one of the most popular NXT superstars, you know, in history, right? Throughout their whole promotions history. And I think he of all people deserves to have that WrestleMania moment.
Yeah, I'm glad that we are wrapping up on a high note, as in, you know, proper good wrestling. No, I'm kidding. It's just a bitch thing to say. So just one more reminder of how AEW's website looks like. A 12-year-old did
a
it.
reminder, bro.
Look at this bullshit. And once again, the Casino Tag Team Royale. There you go. They don't even have a person to double check that shit.
Oh my god. Okay, I hope whoever that's still listening to the podcast that's on the stream, you guys, I hope you enjoyed like our almost 2.5 hour Beach Fest AEW.
Yo, yeah, man. Thanks for hanging out as always. If you're listening to the podcast on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts right now, thank you for that as well. As always, our DMs are open for you to slide in if you want to ask us any questions, get our feedback, whatever, or you have feedback for us, please let us know. In the meantime, of course, next week we'll come back and do a review of AEW Revolution.
Yes, correct.
Definitely need to catch that barbed wire explosive whatever ring match.
Oh, and also obviously Fastlane is coming up, but Fastlane is about 3 weeks away. I think it's the end of March.
Yep.
So we still have some time, you know, to have like a in between episode.
Yeah.
So who knows? We might get an interview.
Yeah.
We might do a watch along. So let us know what you all want us to do. If not, we might have a few things up our sleeves.
Oh, we always have things up our sleeves. That being said, as always, thank you so much for keeping us company. We appreciate it. And hey, we'll catch you again next week. All right. In the meantime, though, hey, it is Mr. Young.
And it's Foreign in the building. Happy Revolution Day.
My whole.
Fuck.